I understand.
You've been cutting people off this entire
Put
night.
that anywhere.
Who?
You.
And I just have
You took up like 20 minutes vomiting, shitting out word salad.
Whoa.
20 minutes straight.
why are you getting offended that I want to have the conversation with you?
I'm not offended.
Yeah,
but
'cause
you
you're
just
trying to
jump
call
in
me
when I'm
out.
trying to literally finish my point. I haven't even got to the period.
Okay,
yet. It
go
was
ahead.
A comma.
Now is your time. Go
it
ahead.
was literally a comma. I
You can
literally
talk now.
forgot. I'm so mad.
Ladies,
I remember my
ladies,
question.
you're both pretty. It's
Anyways,
okay.
It doesn't matter if I'm
can I-
pretty.
can I
It
be-
matters about what I fucking stand for.
What
Right.
you mentioned the period. Can we please not talk about menstruation? But you, I don't know. You said something about periods. Or
I
something.
said a
I know,
comma. in it.
bad joke.
Period.
Putting
Can
a
I
period
can
in it.
can I bring
Yeah.
some? Can I get nerdy with us again, real quick? So beauty is not actually not subjective. There's tons of studies that show when you overlay. There's a famous one where you overlay the pictures of several thousand psychology students over each other. You come up with an average, and that average is more attractive than the other people. It's rated as more attractive than the people in the classroom. Also, there's studies that show that infants, young children, look at people who are more attractive for longer periods of time. I've hosted over 45 different bikini competitions, and exactly, I've hosted over 45 different bikini competitions, and in doing so, when I ask the guys who's going to win, it's almost always like the same three girls. We generally agree. There's no study that shows that beauty. Now, to a certain extent, obviously, some people like bigger butts or bigger lips, but the idea of facial symmetry and signs of youth, clear skin, things like that, those things tend to be universal. So those things are not subjective; they're actually objective, and that's a really offensive thing to a lot of people. When you look at Victoria's Secret and they show other body types, and I'm all for inclusivity, but they're not going to change what I find attractive or what Justin finds attractive or what Rollo or any of the men in the chat what they find attractive, because when you leave that door open that beauty is subjective, it really for the most part isn't. Like you can tell when something is beautiful because of symmetry and other things, and there's just tons of studies. There's tons of evidence to show this.
That was a beautiful point. But I would like to talk to you again. What you said was that there was a double standard in what she was saying, and okay, what you said was she calls it like she sees it, and that's wrong, because, and then you sorry, was it you? You talked about how we just got in that argument, but you saying that she's calling it a double standard for caring about somebody's personality when she meets somebody, and then calling them ugly or fat.
I just don't want to fuck a fat bitch. Sorry, I just don't want to fuck a fat bitch. Okay, you go.
Are you bi?
I mean,
Are you trolling? Like, what's going on?
Oh, I just
know
don't want to
you're
fuck.
being
Okay,
fun-
okay,
like you're funny and shit.
Okay,
but
look
I'm
me in
just
the eye
like,
and tell me you'd fuck Thrognak the Destroyer, who comes on here every once in a while.
Okay, but that's not what we're saying.
I'm
What
just
I
trying to
was
get a
saying-
read. Yo, Ivan, thank you for that, man. Appreciate it.
Donated
Oh, man.
Stop focusing on dollar. If you got you, then great. These girls have no sense of tradition. False studies is what they preach and listen to other women on what a man is and wants. Set your value boundaries and get experience. A man is a leader and a woman makes it worth it.
Yo, Ivan Jr., thank you for the $200 donation. Really appreciate all the support, guys. Really appreciate all the support tonight. Do you want to continue with your point
yeah,
about
but-
not
Do you want me to
wanting to
answer
fuck fat bitches?
Okay, I just don't want to fuck fat bitches. Okay, I just don't. Like,
Aren't
I'm
you
sorry.
said you're wait, what?
Dude, I just
I
don't
know
want
you're,
to
like,
okay, if
joking
a
or
fat
whatever,
bitch
but,
went
like,
up to
what?
me and said, "Hey, sexy," I'd be like, "Hell no."
Are you bi?
Dude, I don't fucking know. I don't know.
So you like what you like.
I like what I
basically.
like, but
So
like,
if you like a person,
okay,
based
okay,
off their
listen, I just don't want to
personality,
fuck a fat bitch. You don't have to overcomplicate.
Okay,
it.
back to
I don't want to fuck a fat
back to
bitch.
what she
So
was
she didn't
asking
answer my
me.
question.
Back to what she was asking me. You were saying how I was basically saying that's contradicting, right?
Yeah.
Earlier, she was saying how are you gonna date somebody? How are you gonna marry somebody and then not know if that they're good in bed, right? And she's over here saying,
Well, I know they're not good in bed because they'll
okay,
break
first
it.
of all, let me finish. Okay, you want people to let you finish.
Like,
Thank you.
should be done.
My thing is, you're over here saying that, oh, you're over here judging, you're being biased, this and this and that, but yet you're over here saying I wouldn't fuck somebody who's bigger than me, that who's ugly, this and this and that. You have your own perception as to who's ugly and who's big, right?
Mm.
So it's like for you to be like straight up and say like, oh no, you're ugly, like you're fat. But yeah, you're over here saying like, oh no, I'm not judging that. You are being biased and
Okay,
you are
okay. Look,
contradicting what
I'm not
you're
an
saying.
architect. I don't want to fuck a fat bitch. Like, can we just I don't want to fuck a fat bitch. You don't
So
have
you
to.
That's
have
not
a
what I'm
type.
saying.
Okay,
We've
okay,
established
okay.
that.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
We don't have to
Yes.
overcomplicate things. I doubt anyone. Okay, but just.
I'm just
Okay,
dumbing
I
it
just
down.
don't
So
wanna
you have a
complicate-
type
I am
and
not
it's
trying to
personality.
complicate it. She merely asked me a question, which is why I was just trying to.
Can I simplify your
reiterate it.
point a little bit?
Go ahead.
Jesus.
Okay, so I think the point is you shouldn't judge someone based off the act of sex, right? Sex isn't the end all be all. But biologically, we pick the mate that is best for us. You're not going to want to mate with someone who, say, is obese, say, is short, and you want your kids, you want your offspring to be stronger, powerful, tall, in good shape, right?
Yes.
You
thank
will
See,
not.
the way you are wording it is way better than what she had
That's
said.
why I
Exactly.
said I was
Thank you
simplifying
so
her
much.
There we
point.
go.
But hold on,
Trust me,
let her
thank you so
finish.
much.
Let her
So-
finish. Go ahead.
The whole objective, like her whole objective is I'm going to have my preferences, but sex isn't what makes those preferences. It's the preferences that lead to the sex, right? They lead to you picking a partner in general. It's not just about sex. So she's not being a hypocrite. She's laying out her preferences that get you to the bed.
No, but what I was saying was earlier she had said something about it being about like how you feel towards a person and not about looks. But now she's talking about looks.
How you feel towards a fat person or a skinny person is definitely about looks, but it is also how you feel about those looks. It doesn't change. Everything is we see something, we all see the same thing, but we all perceive it differently. So it is how you feel about a thing. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay.
That makes no sense.
So
Really?
Absolutely makes no sense. No,
Well,
because
so-
I mean, because we're human beings, we are very good at pattern recognition. When we see someone who is overweight, when we see someone who has like lost a limb, when we see someone who is in some way deformed or disabled, we look at them as not necessarily a lesser human being
different.
because of their personal value, but we do look at them and
We
we
do
say
recognize that they're
that that
different.
person is not going to be able to run away from a bear. Okay, we
Yeah.
look at that and we have an instant instinctual understanding just by looking at that person, whether or not they're going to be physically fit, whether I want to have sex with that person, whether I do not want to have sex with that person, whether that person is going to be somebody that I want in the trenches when I'm fighting a war, or when I need somebody to balance my accounts or something like that. So there's absolutely a look that we see when we look at someone. So when people say this bullshit about like, oh, you can't judge a book by its cover, well, the reason for a book cover is to sort of let you know what's inside the book in the first place.
Yeah, no, I agree with you completely. I was just
Well, and then the other
kind
part
of
of that
like
is sex is the glue that keeps a relationship together. So without that sex, you got no fucking relationship. Okay?
Yeah, well, what I was gonna say was that, like, I was saying that
Into the mic.
I don't want to judge anyone like based on their sexual
Why not?
performances, and I wouldn't get to that point because I wouldn't go for a fat woman, so I wouldn't know what her performance was like because I wouldn't bother with that. If that makes sense. I don't
All
know.
right, moving on.
So can
Also,
we address
okay,
that-
one more.
Address what?
Wait, wait,
that
wait.
question that guy said of tradition. I come from a different background. If we're talking about tradition, my parents were immigrants, so I'm not immigrants, but still, I come from a completely different background. In my culture, whoever's the fastest person to pay, you get to pay. However, we eat as a family. We don't. There's no such thing as a separate dish. Everybody eats off what everybody has.
Everybody eats.
Exactly. But in most cultures, and there's different ways and there's different thinking
Mhm.
and there's different types. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a thing. Me personally, the reason why I've been in a 4-month relationship is because there's a standard there and there's a boundary that I put out. And if you don't succumb to that, boundary, then if you don't come to that, boundary or meet it in any type of way, then there's no reason for me to move forward
Mhm.
because I feel like a relationship is a partnership. Obviously, I believe in 50-50 because of my cultural background. And
What's your cultural background?
I'm Chinese. I'm Chinese.
And
and
so
black.
you think that the Chinese believe in 50-50 in
No, but I
egalitarian
believe
relation in
because my
egalitarian
parents,
partnerships?
my parents divorced and my dad left, and so obviously there's split custody and there's child support, and
So-
if you
so you
don't
think
pay
that-
for that child support,
Do you think
and
that
then
okay,
my
I got that,
parent-
but do you think that the reason why your parents split up is because that egalitarian ideal didn't work out for the both of them?
of course, and that's whatever it is between them. But as a kid, you're
So
caught
is that
in the loop.
cultural, or is that just something
No,
between a man
but
and a
I
woman?
also watched a cultural person come from a strict, background. My grandparents, she couldn't go outside.
Mhm.
She only had books, everything like that, working, everything like 9 to 5, everything. And so my mom got sick of it and came here to America to live out the American dream. And so obviously from that point, you have to start out from scratch. And my mom started out from scratch by herself with nobody to help her until she met my dad. She met my dad, and my dad helped her and pushed her forward to a certain extent until their agreement and their disagreement and didn't fulfill each other. They divorced.
What was
And
the,
I'm
agree-
caught
what
in
was
the
the
loop.
agreement?
Their marriage. You
Well,
know, when
so
you
what-
when you
but-
say vows,
Well,
when you
there's a-
say vows,
Okay, what were the vows?
I don't know. I wasn't there
So
because I was too young. But in their terms,
Mhm.
in their eyes, they had agreed to a certain vow and a certain agreement. And if one of them just doesn't fulfill, why would you stay in that relationship?
someone breached the contract.
Yes. So why would you stay in that relationship?
Not saying
You have no
would.
reason to. So you move on, you progress forward. And as a man, as a female, and you constantly rely as a man, and then the father figure, the male figure of the household just disappears. What do you have left in that household, in that foundation? What do you build off of a male built foundation? Nothing. So you have to start out from scratch, and you build that foundation yourself.
Can
As
you
a
can you just
female,
like stop karate chopping the
oh,
table?
I'm sorry.
please?
As a female, from starting
We
from
know you're
nothing,
female. That's been
my
established.
my mother starting
Okay.
from nothing to something. She from below minimum wage to above minimum wage,
Okay.
and by herself, she did that all by herself. So
Would she
how
have been
many-
better off if she had a guy?
Yes, of course. But in those time periods when she needed the guy the most,
So
she
she
realized
needed a
Hey,
guy.
hey,
she
Simple
needed a guy.
Jack.
But you don't
Obviously,
need a guy.
my mom
They
was
got
so into a
Khalifa
relationship
on
where
here.
it's you put a
They're
certain
all
degree, and
dumb.
you put a certain degree, and you make a house.
What are we talking
What-
about?
where was
I'm
this
not
even
Like
going?
what are we-
in a marriage, you need two people.
That girl
Are you
that's
still talking
dressed
about
like the
50
Harry
gallons?
Potter
Yes,
idiot's
you
the
need,
worst.
you
He
need
keeps
a
Justin,
trying
marriage
to
there you
to
go.
agree.
I want
How
half
do
an hour of
people
Justin
agree
Waller.
I'm
into
giving
a
you a
marriage?
layup.
I
How do
need
you agree
Justin
into
Waller.
a marriage? You don't mind brain her. You don't mind wash her. You don't force her to agree anything. She chooses to agree to go. What is she into? If you lay down that foundation, what she's getting into.
A woman cannot look up to a man who is her equal.
But okay, you said you're in favor of 50-50. Justin, your thoughts on 50-50 dynamic?
I don't believe in 50-50 dynamic. I believe a man should take care of a woman in every way. And I think that's what he gets to do.
And of
as a
course,
man.
and
As a
from
man.
and then
when you come
and then
across
when
a
I
real
meet the guy-
man, you will
Mhm.
accept that because you'd be happy to be in his frame. Because you look up to him, you want to get behind him. You want to be on that ride, he's going to take you on.
Exactly,
he
but I
want- he
also
wants
have
to
a
do these
certain
things.
point.
Yes,
because
but
I feel-
but I'll tell you, a man is not going to sit there and listen to you tell him your standards because he's
I'm not
not.
gonna tell him my standards. I'm
Sorry,
gonna
hold
lay out a foundation
Hold on,
of what I
hold on,
want in a
just a
relationship.
sec, guys. Hold on.
Rex donated $200. Jarul really cares about this woe is me backstory. You came from a broken home and you dumped your dignity in the dumpster because you decided to not get professional help for your mental issues. Godspeed.
Your response to
Mental-
bads_exe?
Mental issues are kind of. I have trust issues. Yes, of course I do. But then again, you can't breach.
Hold on just a sec.
Mike Davis donated $200. I'm not gay, but I'd go gay for war. With his fiery red locks thrown in his face, as a piercing gaze that cuts through my soul like a sharpened blade. Ever since I discovered Waller, I got off Viagra.
Welcome to the Whatever podcast.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks, Mike. I think.
That's crazy. Hey man, we're gonna go to a Burger King afterwards, Mike. Just for you, bro. Can you tell me
Maybe
where the
we'll
nearest
get
Burger
lucky
King is?
and well
24
hung and
hours?
done
That
will
was
send in a
300
super
of them.
chat.
That was
Must be one of
300.
those.
Wait, bro. No, that was
that
Mike
the same
Davis.
guy?
Yeah, I think that's Mike
Okay,
Davis,
so
wasn't
that-
it? That was Mike Davis.
Mike, you're in Miami, right?
Ooh.
Mike Davis, do you own any Burger Kings in Miami? Could he host you at the Burger King? Like,
Sure, bro.
I mean, maybe after what he said, maybe
Yeah,
not.
that one's tough. That one's
It
tough.
might be.
Yeah.
It might be tough. Sorry, we got two TTSs that came through, one right after the other. You guys were kind of having an exchange. Justin, did you want to come back in, or did you?
Go ahead.
No problem at all. I said what I had to say. I do believe that a man is going to want to take charge and control the
Of
relationship.
course, and I
And
would like-
oftentimes, I think that women, particularly ones like you that are going to be a bit more headstrong, they're going to want to hold on to their independence until they find a man that they find is worth letting go. What's
Yeah.
really hard for a woman now?
No, it's
is to find
bullshit.
A man worth the fuck enough for you to be able to let go. And I think that'll be one.
They
of the biggest
didn't
challenges
read
for
Well
women,
Hung and
particularly
Duns.
because how headstrong you
He
are.
had the best super
And
chat
that's
of
what I
all
really
time,
like to
and they
say
didn't
about
read it.
If you find that right guy and he comes through and he's just like you, just everything that you think you want is no offense, not true. when that man walks into your life, and you're gonna know, you're gonna be able to put a lot of walls down that you wouldn't.
You know, that
previously
that
be able to
dude
put
looks
down,
like the
because
guy
man
from
is worth you
Reacher.
being able to do it. And when you trust you can be inside his frame and you're safe inside of that, you will let go.
No, I absolutely agree.
So
no.
that's what you said was that she's gonna have a hard time finding a guy because of how headstrong she is. So she.
But
Well,
he's been
she-
critical of men too.
Yeah,
No, I know.
Yeah,
and,
fuck
and,
that
and
shit.
her
I think that
particularly,
that-
she's a little bit more boisterous.
I think
if I'm
that
being
that
fair,
is
you
something
are.
that gets in the way
Boisterous.
of me finding a guy because
What's
I'm-
that?
yeah, because I'm well.
No, you're not. You're a sweetheart. You and her are two different.
No, I'm
things.
really headstrong. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, I'm very independent. I have goals for myself. I think that comes off as intimidating to a lot of guys.
Why do you think that?
Well, that's my only assumption. I might be wrong, but I
yeah,
don't
you're
know.
so-
why
I-
people
I-
aren't
I actually
Like,
think
I
it's the
feel like
I think
you're
it's the
right.
pipeline more than anything. Can I give you guys all a piece of advice? Write this down. Do whatever with it you want. I would find a local chapter of the SPCA and start volunteering there. I would find as many soup kitchens and food pantries as I could and start volunteering there. I have found empathetic human beings are the ones that you probably want to be with, people who show a level of kindness. I throw charity events specifically for one of the reasons is generally people who are narcissists and psychopaths can't keep coming to charities where they don't get anything out of it. Wounded Warriors. anything for underprivileged
he's
children.
doing the
Shout out to
wedding
the Midnight
crashers
Mission in
bit.
Los Angeles. Shout out to Operations Blankets of Love.
That's what
domestic
this
abuse
guy's
charity, anything
doing.
like that. The people that are associated with that, I would not only would I try to meet other people I want to group with, but I would also invite a date on that. For me, frequently, it used to be my first date would be somebody that I was interested in. We'd go volunteer at a soup kitchen. We'd go volunteer at a food pantry. Because the reason why is like a lot of the times you guys are talking about like cruelty and a lack of empathy. I promise you that will work better than Tinder when it comes to personality if you guys started doing that. But I haven't heard any of you say that because your method by which you're meeting people tends to be solely online. And listen, I know Roland and I talk about this all the time. Instagram is the #1 dating app in the world. And I agree that it's the #1 dating app in the world, but it used to not be like that. I'm old and I remember when it wasn't like that before. And so I would recommend you guys try some IRL stuff where you're actually volunteering and trying to serve other people. And when you find somebody else in that method, especially with your values as a Christian, I think you're going to be shocked at how awesome it is. And I don't mean just going to church. I mean, finding someone else who's doing something for Wounded Warriors or especially for animal rescue. That is the catch-all for everyone. Everyone loves animal rescue. So that's what I would recommend for all of you guys to, if you're having trouble finding someone who's compassionate or finding someone who's trustworthy, that's what I would do.
If I could just add to
Yeah,
that,
let's
Michael,
go to a charity to get banged.
good chance you'll find a
That'll
good guy
work
at
out
those
well.
places. You might also find someone who committed like a misdemeanor and they're doing community service hours. Just saying, just a caveat to Michael's thing.
And you might find a simp too. I mean, there's that risk, right?
There's that too.
Right.
There's that too.
Yeah, there's a bit of psychopathy.
Oh yeah, you'll find plenty of those.
Such thing as dark love for sure.
All right, we have
Yeah, you imagine one of these bitches at a
Well,
charity,
to a
they
certain
wouldn't last
extent.
2 minutes.
Everybody deserves kindness.
It'd be
to a
like,
certain
oh, you want me
extent.
to pick up dog shit?
You could
I'm
be-
out of here.
You could help all these people. Don't get me wrong, in a homeless shelter, and some of them have some roughed up lives where were in the child, they were a child and they messed up, and now they can't progress as adult in life, and that's why they're on the streets. But then there's other people who have came from a great lifestyle, great parents. They just messed up with drugs. And then with drugs, they messed up, and then now they're in a washed up place.
I think,
and that's what I do. I help them.
Yeah, I think
help
we're confusing two different things. I don't want you to date the people.
You don't need to
I
date
understand
bums,
that,
like
but
literal
I'm
bums.
just saying I do help them.
I wonder
I
if
do help
that
them
guy
to an
in the
extent.
corner
I
is
do help people who are drug addicts.
with that
You know,
Megan
they- and
Fox
that
looking
they do
chick.
show that progress that they want to change. Everyone needs a little
You
bit.
see, they got
of,
Khalifa on here. That's a real idiot there, the one with the
of
glasses.
Their lifestyle.
What
You know,
are you talking about?
He's not
I-
saying
I-
date
I-
homeless
homeless
guys.
people. I
He's
help-
saying
I
like when
help-
you
I
go
help-
there, there'll be people there that you might want, like at the
Yes,
I
soup
build,
kitchen
help.
too.
I build
But
my
then
friend
there's-
groups. I specifically build my friend groups around charity.
I
Around,
understand.
Wait, I'm sorry. Were
But,
you
you know,
saying to
I'm
meet
just-
somebody there to continue going
Like
on
someone
those?
Bro, it's not that heavy. It's not that fucking
not
heavy.
that hard. It's not
I
that
think
hard.
he's
Like,
doing
I
the
know, but
wedding
it's
crashers
community
bit.
service and shit.
Oh, to
He's
meet
using
someone
the
there.
charity as a
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
I
Thing
heard
to
you wrong.
smash.
I'm
Okay,
just
okay.
saying.
That's literally
I
what
was
he
just saying
said.
that people in this world deserve a certain amount of kindness, to a certain extent. When you see a homeless person out in the streets, by the freeways and everything, asking for money, what is your first thought?
Whoa, is it what? What are you talking about? The empty.
My first thought is, are they going to stab
I don't
me?
know, like,
That's my
where-
first thought.
I'm saying, like,
Dude,
I'm
you are
saying-
so off
Dating
topic.
show. We
Wait,
can
wait.
we can
You're
talk
way
about
off
the
topic.
nuances.
You're a great
of-
humanitarian.
I mean, we can talk about the nuances.
Especially the ones here, man. They come up to your fucking car.
You know.
Okay, might I
What's
just
up?
add something? Honestly, I love your advice, but most people I know nowadays, they don't want a good guy. They don't really want that. They want to be.
I think I might be able to fix this with a sentence. You want a man that can slit a throat and hold a baby in the same day. That's what you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's who you looking for.
Mm.
But he can also be Michael, and Michael's in the military.
I'm sorry, was that sarcasm or like were you actually being for real?
No,
like,
I'm being for real. Like a lot of people, like the partners that they choose, I don't
No,
know.
I'm talking about
That
you
girl is the
using
worst
specific-
troll, man. That
No, dude,
I don't know what
what-
she's
what
doing
was the
on here.
question?
She's dressed like a.
Be with somebody who-
She dressed like she's going to the Harry
Fucking
Potter
right. That's
school.
what you want as a woman.
What's
That's
with the
what you want.
I
outfit?
want someone who
Yep.
not afraid of guns and shit. Like I want
Absolutely.
someone who can hold their own. Like
That's the kind of man.
I
you
don't want a fucking soy boy liberal cuck or whatever. I don't
You want
fucking
you want a man. You want a man that could.
Yeah,
could
I
be
want a
good with
man
your
I
who
want
kids
is
some
and at
like-
the
Harry
same time
Potter
kill
looking
somebody who
bitch.
came in your house. That's what you want.
Yeah,
So no blue hair then.
Hell no! What
Okay,
the
good.
fuck, dude?
What
No.
are we talking about, by the way? Is he the-
Dude, I don't know, but I'm just saying. Like,
All right, let me get a couple of these super chats here. Let's see. Did we? I think we did. Wait, did we do this one?
Well hung. If you're here, send in a super chat.
Yes, we did that.
I'm keeping
Personal
track of
analysis.
super chats.
I'll make another video.
Landscaper69, thank you for the 100. Avery, do you want to read this one?
Ask them if they want to date
What was it you
Nazis.
dreamt of doing with your life when you were little? How close or far are you from that dream? What changed your path? Just trying to understand this lost generation.
Let's keep the answers short on this one. So, what was it you dreamt of doing with your life when you were little? Let's just answer that one. Go ahead.
I wanted to be a singer. I was doing that for a bit, and then I lost my record deal, and now I'm doing OnlyFans.
Can you sing pretty well? Do you have a talent?
Let's hear it.
No, dude,
Do
it's too
it.
embarrassing.
What's that song? At Last by. Do you know that song?
I've heard it. I don't know the words.
All right, go ahead.
I wanted to work in media, which I'm fulfilling.
You wanted to work in media,
Yeah,
which you are fulfilling by doing what?
working in media.
Are you talking about OnlyFans?
OnlyFans is an aspect of media, sure, but I also have a TikTok. I also write for websites and magazines.
Okay.
But even if I was just
I'm
doing OnlyFans,
Khalifa.
I would
I'm an
consider
educated
that fulfilling it,
bitch. Like
sure.
I'm too good to
question
be
is,
here, but I'm going to
what
be
was
here
it
to
you
grandstand.
dreamt of doing with your life when you were little?
Did I specifically dream of doing OnlyFans when I was little? No, it didn't
Probably
exist.
well, it wasn't around.
Yeah.
but I suppose sex.
Like I
work
said,
has been
I dreamt
around.
of doing media,
Fair enough.
working in
What
media.
about you?
Just a One Piece journey.
Here, turn
A One
microphone
Piece
straight
journey.
towards you.
One
Straight,
Piece
straight,
journey?
straight, straight. There you go. Go ahead.
A One Piece journey.
Honestly, when I was little, I wanted to be a police officer, but I
So
changed it. I
Rise
wanna
is
be
not
this.
here.
Am I doing that right now? No, but I'm currently working so that I can get my car and continue going to school.
Yes, she
which I
does.
have- yeah, I don't know.
Go ahead.
Always wanted to be in the medical field. I'm almost in the medical field. Nothing's restraining me from that.
You're the ER nurse, right?
Physical therapy is what I'm looking at. Yeah.
You're the ER nurse.
I just want to be happy, and I want to make other people happy.
That was your childhood dream? To be happy?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good
What
times.
else? Is there nothing more specific than
I
to be
hate that
happy?
that
I don't know, I
bitch.
wanna
That
find
that
ways
one
to
is
be
just
happy.
like
Close to the mic.
that is the
I wanna
worst
find
troll
ways to be
ever,
happy. I want to
man.
make other people
She's
happy.
just constantly trying to
I'm
troll.
not sure what will make me happy, but I want to find.
And look at this. Why is she dressed like this?
You will
My
not.
We're not going to a
dream
Harry
as
Potter
a
watch-a-thon.
child was to do something big with my life. I think make a big difference. And later on, it was being a trauma nurse, which I
Mhm.
have found that. And then I'm moving more towards humanitarian stuff.
Have you saved a life?
I've saved many lives.
See, there you go. You've done something big.
ER nursing or ER nurses.
I know, it's
sick
staying
in
close.
there. You guys got this.
Who is
and
that
nurses
chick
in
next to
general.
that guy in
Um,
the when they cut back
but
that
Even the ER.
that
gets
Megan
tiring if
Fox
you're not doing
looking
anything
gal?
in there.
What about you?
Yeah, that one.
I always wanted to be a model and actress, but I kind of gave up on like acting stuff, and now I just do modeling.
Okay. I suppose this is asked to the rest of the panel.
Hmm.
Living the dream.
Michael.
It's funny, man. I don't know. I can't even. I always wanted to be a Longhorn, and I ended up doing that. And then it was never my dream to fly for the Air Force, but I ended up doing that. I don't know, man. It's tough. But I think maybe working in radio, but I sort of ended up doing that with the podcast. So it's something similar to that.
You were a pilot. Is that?
No, I was a civilian pilot. I was in the military. I was a navigator. I was an instructor navigator. KC-135. Yeah.
But in the military, you were not a not a pilot.
No, I was a KC, navigator.
Navigator. Okay,
Yeah, and then I
gotcha.
worked in counterintelligence near the end of my career.
Okay, cool. But you said in your civilian life you're a pilot.
Yeah, I flew a Cessna 172 and a Piper Warrior.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Mhm.
Super cool. Justin.
Yeah, man. When I was a kid, I always said I was gonna be a businessman. It was very vague. I don't think I knew what I meant, but it couldn't have worked out better, man. Life's a dream.
Hell yeah.
Truly.
And
when I was a kid, let's see, when I was 10, I wanted to be Ace Frehley. That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be in Kiss. That's what I wanted to be. As simple as that. No, I always wanted to be a touring musician, which I got to do for quite some time when I was in the late 80s and early 90s. And I still play in a band right now. But it's so much
Fuck
more
my
than
back
that.
all the hell and my
Creative
shoulder hurts.
individual. I don't think a lot of people really get that from me.
I wonder if I'm gonna be able to work out tomorrow.
Doing what I do here right now, they think I'm like super analytical, but I.
Felix Haas, hail and bow to the
can tell
chat.
from my
Hey,
thumbnails
Felix.
I'm very much an artist too, so I've always been an artist, and I do exactly what I wanted to do.
very talented graphic designer.
Mhm.
And I suppose I'll answer the question. At one point, I wanted to be a magician, and then that didn't work out. And then I wanted to be a professional surfer. That also did not work out. Landscaper69, thank you for the donation. Avery, go ahead.
Brian, it
He
depends
he
on if
wanted
you
to
go
be a
terminal, low,
landscaper.
tower, or en route radar. En route
Fuck,
gets paid way
talk
more,
about-
but significantly harder. Aspen, have you ever listened to the Bible
Having
in
a
your podcast with Father Mike? If you
a
haven't,
low
you should.
opinion. I
It's
mean, Jesus.
fantastic.
Aspen.
Why would you want to be a landscaper?
I have not done that.
Okay. Cannon, thank you for the $100 super chat. Really appreciate it, man. Is that a gecko face palming? Hello? Is that like the Geico gecko? I don't know. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Well, I guess it would pay
American
cash,
Virus
but
is
still.
freedom. Thank you for the 100. Avery, go ahead.
As a traditional guy, I look at women that sleep with a lot of men as someone that is willing to have a kid with those men. A man that is willing to sleep with a lot of women are willing to emotionally damage ladies they don't want to stay with. Neither is healthy.
That is so true.
Anyone have Justin thoughts on this? Michael, Rolo, any thoughts?
I think you don't necessarily
Check out
want to have
Freedom
kids with everyone
Tunes.
you have sex with. So I don't know if that's
No,
necessarily
it's-
the case.
it's
I do think it's leverage.
I think I've
judgment,
seen those
but I mean,
before.
in some cases, you do.
Is that
Here's the
where
thing,
they look like
subconsciously, you do, and it's more so
like
in women than men,
bobbleheads or
where
whatever?
Women will like again the oxytocin release that happens after a woman has sex with a man is more powerful in women than it is men. So I could see that argument subconsciously, but I think cognitively, I'm not sure if that's the
No,
case.
it's just the argument for licking the ice cream. That's all. There's the ice cream store, and some guys get to go into the ice cream store earlier or like at all go in there, and what they do is they go and lick every flavor of ice cream. So when everybody else goes in there, they realize that, oh, hey, this ice cream's been licked. That's a metaphor. I know it's dangerous to use these days, but it's a metaphor for the fact that guys, there's this belief that a certain percentage
Looks like
of guys
Family Guy
are going and
bobbleheads.
essentially sleeping with all the women and then damaging those women.
I think
And
I've
then
seen those
women, when
before.
they find the real guy, when they finally get to be 28, 29, 30 years old, and they're trying to do the right thing, then they're damaged goods. And all because some sinister group of very elite men, a small percentage of them, have ruined those women because they had sex with them. Well, the problem with your estimate there is you also have to remember that women choose to have sex with those guys in the first place. So you got to look at it from both sides. I know you got something to say.
No, I agree with you. I don't think
Mhm.
he's wrong. I think that
Mhm.
there's a certain level of man that can go through an alpha widow, a bunch of women.
Mhm.
I'm just saying I believe that.
Yeah, I'll look
And,
at it in a bit.
Life isn't fair, man. So you need to compete very, very hard. Understand where you fall in the rank of things, and put yourself in a position to be the highest level of man that she could be with. Because until you do that, then there's not really a conversation. I'll just keep rolling through them, and all the other guys like me will. So that's your problem to handle, my friend. That's why you should work so hard. That's why everybody watching this shit should work so fucking hard. Be the best man you can possibly be. Because if you love your wife, even if it's your future wife, you are going to be faced with this scenario, and that's the only way that you're going to win, my friend. So,
Justin, just a question. When you say faced with that scenario, what do you mean?
so every man is going to compete after he's married, regardless. Like hypergamy is a real thing. Respectfully, by the way, it is very, very real, and it is something that you're constantly going to be doing in your life is competing. So
performance. You have a burden of
What are
men
you
do have a burden
competing
of
for
performance, and
if
it's
you're
very important
married?
that you realize that and accept that ugly truth of the world. You can get mad at women and blame it on women, but the truth of the matter is, unless you're doing the work to maximize
Oh,
your
fuck.
way, then you should look at no one but yourself. So go find a mirror, my friend, instead of typing on
I have
this
this
channel,
heating
talking
pad
shit
on my
about how women
fucking
are
back
hurt,
all
'cause we already
day,
know
man.
that. So all you can do is build
Couldn't even get out of
yourself up,
fucking
man,
bed
to
and
make
all.
Yeah, his argument.
Just got
that is
tired of
women
laying
for
in
men
bed,
to
so I
throw
came
punch
over
women
here.
is not going to stop men, especially high status men, from doing exactly that.
100%. He's just complaining.
Yeah, and the fact that you complain about it isn't going to change either. Like, again, on one hand, we have 17, 18 years of Facebook, and on the other hand, we have 300,000 years of Homo sapien evolution. The evolution means more, and women will be hypergamous and men will compete with other men over women. That is not something that happened because of the United States of America or because of TikTok. That is something that has been the same since we were descended from Australopithecus. That is always the way hominids have been.
All right, we have Davon Jackson here. Thank you for the $200 super chat. Yo, pause, please. I believe this is in response to Mike Davis's comments towards Justin that were perhaps romantic in nature. Mike Davis seems to take a liking to sometimes the men on the panel.
He said he isn't gay, but if he was gay, that's what he said. He did qualify that.
Fair.
I wonder how much money this dude makes a night on
Tricky
here.
position because he's being so nice to me.
Because he's only reading the $100 ones.
Thank you, man.
On behalf of the military
Or more.
guys, our military guys red flags in the
And he
text.
gets quite a lot, so I'm guessing he's
Yeah, we
making
can
at
go
least
around the
$1,000
table
or
on this.
more per
Avery,
show.
Is it a red flag?
Look, that's how everybody should do it. Just read the super chats if they're $100, but that seems like a
I don't
shitty
know, I've
thing to
actually never
do.
dated or matched with a guy in the military, but no.
No, it wouldn't be. I'm kind of confused. Why would it be? Like, what's the
Well,
presumption?
I suppose, I mean,
PCS, TDYs, like you're caused to travel on
like deployments and
yeah.
stuff. Like,
but it's honestly the military men get taken advantage of more than they're the red
Yes.
flags.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
quite the opposite. Like military men get cheated. There was a show called
Yeah.
Army Wives, I believe, on
Island
CBS that just
Hoppers.
illustrated this entire point. It's women, especially after World War II, guys would be deployed for 2 years. They'd come back, and it was like a 75% divorce rate after that. So
Hey,
it's
Matchcolor.
quite the opposite. It's men who get married and then deploy. That whole situation tends to be a red flag.
what's it called? A dependopotamus? Is that? Have you heard that term, Mike?
Dependopotamus.
A dependopotamus.
Dependopotamus, yeah.
Well done.
Is that?
Yeah,
a
there's women
dependa?
who just scour around Fort Hood, just looking for.
I got a follow up question
Yeah,
for you, but let them finish.
but they just scour around Fort Hood looking for any like second lieutenant they can get their hands on, or any.
Hey, man, cool.
It's so I think it's quite the opposite as far as being a red flag. Most military guys I know don't have the ability to cheat. You can do a 15-month deployment in Iraq, you don't have the ability to cheat. So,
Is that a red flag to you? A military guy's a
Yes, I
red
do.
flag.
It's because I just don't like that feeling of just waiting for somebody. I'm waiting for you. I have loyalty. I have trust. I have this. I have communication. I have that as a person, and I invest all this with a person that's completely far away. And now this person has a lot of other things in his view at this point. He's exposed to new things. He doesn't have time for that person that's waiting at home. So now she's stuck at home waiting.
Okay, so no long distance relationships.
Exactly.
Got it.
I'm gonna say yes,
Yeah.
due to personal experience and also like other people's point of views.
So you've dated a guy in the military?
I dated a guy in the military. That was my 7-month situationship. Little issues between us, but like for example, I would like you're not allowed to do this, but I would also sleep in his barracks. And I would hear a lot of the rumors that was happening. For example, he has this friend who has a fiance. He has another friend that is married, and they would have girls over at their rooms all the time. They have these things called barrack bunnies or something like that.
yeah, Desert Queens is when you're deployed.
Yeah.
That one that
So-
sits
think
next
the
to
other
that
thing we have
guy,
to- we
that
have
one
to
there,
differentiate
that one that
is I
looks
think you're
like
talking about
Megan
enlisted
Fox
infantry,
ain't bad.
And there's a big difference between that or just
Harley
enlisted in general.
Quinn
I'm
on
talking
the
about
right
enlisted, and I'm talking about, like,
decided to
enlisted
just
that were
wear
outside.
her bra on a
For example,
podcast.
I have
Yeah,
girlfriends, and
I
then
hate that
his
Harlequin
friends would be
shit.
like, hey, like, set me up
Fucking
with your
pick a
girlfriend.
color, man. I
You
hate that
guys already
shit.
have somebody though. Then they'd be like, okay,
Looks
well,
like a
I'm gonna
fucking
pick
clown or
because I
something.
I don't know the girls.
It
personally,
ain't
so-
Halloween.
Down low.
Exactly.
Got it.
So I don't trust any of those guys.
Okay, so it's a
because
trust thing.
It's a trust thing.
I don't think you can judge everybody by the actions of a few, but I don't
Speak up a little bit.
I don't think you can judge people by the actions of a few like that. Like it's not a trust thing. I think if
What
a man is
these
willing to put his life on the
biatches be
line to learn
biatching
how to
about
protect the
now?
country and to protect me, I think that that's not a red flag.
They're asking about military
I'm
guys
biased
fucking
because,
people
my
overseas
uncle
or
was a
whatever.
Marine. was a Marine.
She looks like a
but
Bratz
I have
doll.
nothing but respect.
That's
for-
Marine, always
No,
a
he's
Marine.
still-
He's
he's
still a
still a
Marine.
Marine. He's
Yes,
still
Yes,
a
it
Marine.
he's
does.
still a
That's
Marine.
what
I
it
have
looks
nothing
like.
but
I
respect
hate
for
that
members of
shit.
the military. Honestly, it wouldn't be a red flag at all because one, that shows that the guy is very willing to die for his country, which means that he, he has
Pro-social, good guy.
Yeah, he's a
Got
good
it.
guy.
Aspen,
you know?
what do you think?
Eric,
Oh, yeah, I love this country, and it would raise eyebrows just because one of my life goals is to have my husband with my kids there as much as possible.
Hmm.
But for the right guy, I would accept that.
Kylie, would you date a military guy?
Hey, Michael. No, yeah, I think it's great. I can see how some girls wouldn't want to like deal with like dating somebody actually like currently active duty. Like,
well,
in the
that
military
one's
because
that
of
one's the
way
hottest
you
one, but you can barely
get
see
out
her.
of it, and that's great.
Quick
I
follow-up
would.
question.
Like she should
You
be
guys
over
know
there where we could
the
see her
percentage of
better. I don't give a
Americans who
fuck
serve
about those
in the
other ones.
military?
Like that's where that
Ever served.
one that
Ever
looks like a
served in the
crack
military?
crack
Percentage of
addict
Americans?
should be sitting.
No, no. 65%, really.
Anybody?
Anybody want to
40?
throw out some guests?
This guy always
90%.
has way too many women on here. No, it's like they can hardly get in
6%
talking. There's
of
just too much. It's
people
like trying to have a
ever served in
conversation in
active duty,
Starbucks.
reserve, or anything like that. A lot of people don't realize it's like less than 1% of the U.S. population is currently in the military, and so yeah, it's actually a much lower number than people think. They did a YouGov survey, and people thought it was somewhere in the 40s.
Yeah,
the 40% of.
She's with
Americans-
that
60
guy. That's what I
65%
figured.
of
I
Americans
wasn't
actually
sure.
served in the
65,
military. No,
yeah.
it's about 6% of current people.
The
living
other
right now
side
serve
is for
in the military.
train
Can I have you
wrecks.
just scoot your microphone? Can I have you scoot your microphone towards the table?
Pull it towards you.
Pull it towards
That's
you.
the train wreck
Super chat
side,
here
huh?
from AGM 1991. Thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate it. Avery, go ahead.
Avery, I have a question for you. There's a woman that I'm interested in.
Matt
and I feel a
says
connection
the
with.
guy
Is there
in the
any
middle
advice?
is
You want a
definitely
perfect
a
relationship, get
asshole,
your relationship with
but
God,
he's
Jesus
right
Christ,
on
the Holy
about
Spirit,
on
God's
about
word,
stuff. The
and
business,
KJV.
yeah, the guy that
Trust me
looks
and
like
believe me.
Reacher.
So
I thought it
that's the
was that
question.
guy
There's
from
one
the
that I'm
Jack
interested in,
Reacher
like, your
show.
Connection with her. Any advice?
I think that's
I feel like I need
That,
more information.
that was pretty good.
but-
Out of
He needs to be
course.
telling that girl the advice he just gave you when he asked you for
Yeah,
advice.
No, I think that was meant for Aspen because
Is
there's
she on
another one
food?
like under this that said, "Oh, I said the wrong girl."
The
Like,
dark-haired
when
one
I saw
next
it.
to Lorenzo Lamas
I think
okay.
that
has
was
a
meant
lot
for
of
Aspen.
injections and fake old
Value.
tatas.
This one?
Yeah. I
This
thought
one
I
looks
saw
like
her.
Megan
I read it
I
Fox.
mean, this is a
earlier.
very
This is a
general
while ago.
question. Any advice? Is it for
I don't-
Avery or for
yeah, that's
Aspen?
why I don't
Like
know.
he's
Answer.
not
I'm
even
curious.
facing the
I
women.
don't,
Where
I
the
don't know. I
fuck
need
are
more
they looking?
information, but I just can say what I.
Yeah, he
want.
always
I just
has
wanna
this
be
weird,
treated like
awkward
I'm the
setup
prettiest
on this
princess in
thing.
all the land.
All the
Like,
land?
if he
Yes.
had way less
Out of curiosity, have you
people,
ever gone out with a guy who didn't
and
treat you like you were
maybe
the
if
prettiest
the
princess in all the land?
maybe if
Yeah.
the
Maybe it's a
table
little
was like
harder to get
a
offered
triangle
than that.
where they were both like
Oh.
looking at each other, but this whole setup is just always awkward. This is like it feels like you're walking into a kid's birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese. Like that's what this looks like.
A guy worth having, we could save the world.
Yes, the Megan Fox looking one. Okay,
Eric Man X, thank you.
Second
you
from
for
the
he's
left.
yes.
That's
probably an
super.
incel.
Just say Aspen. Aspen's easy to remember.
Can I respond to that guy?
Sure.
I would say be somebody that can lead her towards the Lord, and also someone that can cut a throat and hold a baby.
Sorry, guys. I'm
That's
adjusting
going to go in
something
the
here.
title of this.
Agreed, Hargrave. Everyone is jammed into a small space.
Sorry, guys. I'm adjusting something.
Yeah,
here
it looks
on my,
like a party at
laptop.
Chuck E.
While I do
Cheese.
that, is there anything? This is a question I often ask. Is there anything dating related anybody wants to get off your chest? So either something that you specifically want to ask, maybe a question you have you want some advice on. Men are pissing you off in some way. Is there anything dating related you want to get off your chest?
When aren't men
ahead,
pissing them off?
I don't know. I don't want. I mean, I'm not having luck in the dating department, but I'm not gonna like shit on men for that. So I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know
well,
what
maybe
your
if you
question
just chose a fucking collar and went with it, bitch.
I'm confused. Am I inquiring dating advice?
What? So is there anything dating related that you want to get off your chest? So any specific topic that you'd like to talk about related to dating, or maybe when it comes to dating, men are pissing you off in some way? Just give me some prompts here.
Well, they seem to be traditional, so I'd like to talk about like what their standards are for a female partner.
You talking to Justin or?
All of
Oh
them.
man,
I'm curious about that too.
Because you're willing to provide 100% for a woman.
Ruro,
asked
one
earlier,
of
strings
them
attached
has
meaning in terms of
RBF.
opening out for the date. I meant like what woman qualifies for that treatment.
This one with the glasses is that Khalifa bitch. That one I can't remember what she. She's known for. She's done porn. I know that much, but she did something else that got people wound up a while ago.
When you give to your family,
I thought she would be on here a lot earlier. Honestly, like I'm kind of surprised that
be able to take care of somebody, provide
she's
something.
just now getting on
Ideally,
here.
Somebody that was very intelligent that I can connect with on an intellectual level is very, very important to me. I think it makes it better.
I honestly thought this guy talking was the Jack Reacher guy. You know that show on Amazon? It looks just like that guy. Yeah, Mia Khalifa. Yeah,
Also, I want that person to be on my mission with me, like supporting.
she's a virgin OnlyFans. That Mia Khalifa.
If you were doing OnlyFans, at some point,
She turned SJW activist.
I'm on and want to get behind that program and support that program with all of your talent and your efforts and everything. So I think a man should be able to give a woman a mission to get on with him, but is on the path that he is leading. A man should be the leader in the relationship. And for that reason, I'd want a woman that could get inside of a frame, my frame.
Watch the laugh. She's the one that picked up
in a nutshell,
dog poop with her
Okay, so you wouldn't want a woman
mask
to get
and
off
put it
OnlyFans
back
because
on.
it's,
Oh,
like, sex
fuck.
work, but just because that's her individual career
The
path,
guy
you want
in
her
the
to kind of,
middle
abandon
looks
her
like he
career
is
path,
going
or
to kill
specifically because
everyone.
it's OnlyFans/sex work.
Yeah, he looks like the Jack Reacher guy from that show.
Like I probably wouldn't like that. If I'm
What
being
is
100%
happening
with
to
you.
my
But
comments?
as far as her wanting to do something that she's passionate about, if she wanted to work and for
God,
whatever reason she
scatterbrain.
had passion in some area, I would support that. Ideally, she'd want to help me with my mission, but if she wanted to do something that she was passionate about, I would let her do it. Now, would I wife up a girl on OnlyFans? No, I wouldn't. Would I look past it to get to a place where I could build her to somewhere else? Yeah, I would. And I think that is a man's job, is to build a woman up to where he wants to go. For example, if you meet a woman, you should be wanting to build her up so you can take her with you to meet those millionaires that are going to invest in your
What do you
deal.
mean? There's something wrong with the
Millionaires
chat?
on Dubai.
Let me
A
look.
man's job should be, in part, to build a woman up to the highest level he possibly can.
Oh, I need to
So
give
it's an investment to
Manticore
connect the
mod.
two
Hold on.
and try to build her up and make her the perfect partner for him, and that's just a part of it. So yeah, that's how I look at it.
That makes sense. So the cardinal thing you look for is loyalty. Can you characterize what makes a loyal woman? Because like depending where you
Let's
fall, like
see.
the red pill
Everybody
spectrum or
else.
even not the red pill spectrum, some guys consider a woman, you know,
Everybody
going to
else should have
parties or
mods,
even,
so
like,
it shouldn't
having a
be
public Instagram account an act
filtering
of
your
infidelity.
questions.
So what do you consider a loyal woman?
I would probably have the password to the Instagram account if it got very serious. I'd be able to see.
No,
it.
he's already he already has
She wouldn't
mods,
have a
so it
problem with
shouldn't
that
be doing that
because she
stupid
wanted to
thing
get
where it
something out of
says,
A women
"Do you want to
don't
approve his
want space
comments?"
from men they're actually in love with. They don't want that. In
Mhm.
fact, women want nothing more. To
Yeah,
be
everybody's
enthralled
got
by a
mod.
man that they actually want.
Mods for everybody.
They're like, please let me give this to you. I want
Mhm.
you. That's the kind of
That's
the
where I
kind
was
of
gonna go.
Except
you
for
can't
Panatra and
fake
Puma.
genuine
Those
desire.
two don't
So
get
it's
mods.
not transactional at that
Puma's
point. At that
banned.
point, you would want to do everything that it took to be a part of that man's life because you were truly
That
in love
one
with him.
dude
Sure.
is
Does that lack of
Ethan
space
Hawke
go
on
both ways? Like, would
roids.
she also have your passwords or
Absolutely
no?
not. No, she wouldn't.
So how does she feel your genuine love? Just from the financial aspect of you caring
no,
for her
Eric,
and
have
building
you
her up?
seen
I'm
that
glad you
that
asked
show
that.
Reacher?
It's very, very important
He
that
looks just like
people in
that
the red pill
guy.
space start to include the fact that you're there for her. You'll sit there with her knee
I
knee to knee.
refresh,
You are
not
truly
sure what
best friends. You
happens. The
are
comments won't.
emotionally
Oh,
there.
you
I
have to
also say a
wait.
lot
Like
that
I don't know why
a
that is
man should
too.
be
Like
his mouthpiece for a woman's emotional wave
I'll
scratches.
start up a
You should be there
YouTube or
for her
click
fully.
on it, and then
This
the
isn't like Big
chat
G
it
pimping type
shows up
stuff.
like a
He's
minute
truly there
later.
for this woman in
Sometimes
every way.
it's fucking annoying.
They're talking all the time. They're in a constant contact. They love
Yeah, I
each
hate
other.
that
It's
shit.
true
I don't know
love.
why that
Is it
does
dark?
that.
Yeah, but listen. If it's not me and you against the world, if the love's not dark, if it's not me and you against everything that everybody's saying, I don't want that love at all. Because that's that boring shit that ends up going off anyway. So many people get married every day in
Oh yeah, you
America.
click on
They
that
make
thing
these
too.
vows
That's
to,
another annoying thing.
and
Why
I'm gonna
why
be the
is
best man I
there
can be and all
top
this other
chat
stuff.
and
But they
live
come home and
chat? They
pop
should
open
get
the beer
rid
and
of
they get
that
fat.
stupid
You want a
tab
man
thing.
that's actually on a mission, that's out there trying to do something so he can make your dreams come true and take you on a carpet ride through time and
You know
space.
the
Nothing
top
more.
chat
I
thing
completely
should
agree
only
with the
be
notion that a
for
relationship should be two individuals building
the
each other up
person
and pushing each
hosting.
other. I'm just trying to investigate the asymmetry and why you would have her passwords but not vice versa. Is it that you wouldn't trust her? Or is it that you'd want to monitor the messages before they come in so that she doesn't see them first? Like, what is the intention?
No, she would be able to see them, but it's just a trust thing between me and a woman. Like you would want me to have your passwords. Not even me.
Yeah, I wouldn't
If
give
you were in
some
love with
bitch
said
my
man,
passwords.
you
Fuck
would
that
either
shit.
want to either get off of it,
There it is.
or yeah,
I'll
because
have
I
theirs, but they ain't
understand
gonna have
as a
mine.
man,
Fuck that.
if you, for example, beautiful woman, very smart too, by the way. I think you've been pretty impenetrable on this show. I'm very impressed by you. This isn't rigged.
Oh,
like,
she's
just genuine
been
compliment.
penetrated, all
True.
right.
But you're marketing yourself on the internet.
These
like
girls
being
look
no-go
so
for me.
boring.
Because if you were truly,
Yeah, the
truly
only
giving
good one
yourself
is
away
that
to a man,
that one in the
you wouldn't
corner that
market
looks
on the
like
internet.
Megan
And I
Fox,
do
but you
look
can
at it
barely
as
see her.
marketing when a woman has her titties all over.
Hiawatha says she's
And that's
dating
no
that guy or
disrespect. It's
whatever.
just if it were my girl, and I'm the person that's doing everything I can to fight. and
The
make her
mixed
life 10x
race
what it be without me,
lass with the
then
gold
that would be a
necklace
simple
and the
expectation. I
dark-haired
don't think this is what
Latina
you're
with
asking.
I think that's 100%
the
their
tie look
prerogative.
nice.
My issue more is when men have asymmetrical standards. So they want a girl who's not showing her titties on Instagram, but then
Yeah.
their explore page is full of Instagram models and they're liking their posts or they're watching porn. So for me, if I found a guy who wouldn't want me on Instagram and that was the love of my life, I would just want him to not be on Instagram either. If he wanted my
Are
passwords,
you
if
talk- Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
if you want my passwords, the same cuts both ways. And if anything, it makes more sense for the girl to have the guy's passwords because guys will be the first to argue that guys are the first to stray.
Just related to the asymmetry thing. So I kind of want to add a little bit to that. So, for example, do you think that a guy who desires a woman with a low body count, who doesn't have a promiscuous past,
That
for
biatch
example,
talking
he
is
might
a
be
pig.
promiscuous, or he's got a bunch of women, or he
Only,
has a
I
high
think you're
body
saying
count?
Amit. Only
Do you
Amit would
cool
like
with
that
that? Do you
Indian
take an issue
girl.
with that? Because you mentioned
Unless you're
you
a
have an issue with
Indian
asymmetry.
too.
Do you have an issue with that?
Blah blah blah.
100%. Like I said, I think it's your
But they
prerogative to
are
find someone who matches your
probably
values.
not
I'm highly
pleasant.
selective.
Who
I have a
knows?
partner who's also highly selective. I don't think that maps onto body count because, for instance, if a girl tells you like, I have 80 bodies, you can't deduce how selective she is because that could
No,
be.
you can deduce she's not selective. She has 80 bodies.
You
Yeah,
can't.
that's a bit high.
You
It's
can't
pretty high.
because
That's a bit. That's a bit high.
wouldn't you argue women have access to fuck every single man on this
For
planet?
sure.
She still has a 99.9999% curve rate.
80s.
That's
Not
so
80.
80,
A
you're proving
curve
my point,
rate?
then that means 80
That's a lot
pretty
of
high.
dick.
That's
That's a
like-
lot of
Lot
penis.
of
I'm
dick.
saying
A lot of
context
peanuts.
That-
is
that's-
important, and I
this
wouldn't.
isn't an
Context is
MMO
important. I
we're
wouldn't
learning.
reduce it to just a number. For instance, body count usually just refers to penile vaginal sex. Like, would you consider
Anal
her
counts too.
selective if she has just
Anal.
a ton of lesbian
But
sex?
she's
Usually
like
the
fucking
blowjob
ran through.
actually
That's the
counts.
issue. She's ran through.
Ran
everything.
through
and here's
ran
a
through in a
here's
very
a bigger
specific
problem.
way. They don't
Ran
care
through
if
in a
you.
very
They don't care if you fuck 1,000 women, but one guy.
Dude,
They care
Yeah,
about.
wait,
I
let's
don't
be
really
very
want to
clear
get
here.
AIDS, so yes, they do
Everything
care if they fuck
between-
1,000 women.
Hold on.
Sure, but typically the traditional body count conversation doesn't care about that.
Here, let's have Justin come in. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to be very clear about this. You're looking for a fair situation, but newsflash: the light world is not fair. Like
Men
that
and women are
man,
different.
that man is going to get up and go through stress every day and face the challenges of the world while you have a pretty cush life. Men have always.
That
slept
man's
with
gonna
women.
go
It's
through
not fair,
stress,
it's
all
bullshit.
right.
I know it hurts. I know it sucks. I know it's not a good thing to say, but it is absolutely true. And you are.
It
the top
looks
of your
like
sexual
the
marketplace value.
Girl in red
And
has her legs
There's going
open.
to be. She's
24.
24.
Am I
I
past
always
it?
say if
Yeah.
you stack them
No,
up
you're at the, no,
You're about to hit
I'm
and
the
2
if
days
jumping
old
off
and
will hurt
25.
you,
no, it's all
pass
good.
on
You're
her.
probably at the top. But let me tell you where you're not. You're not at 30.
Is this
where
what
you're at a
people
time where you
talk
wanna have
about?
Children and you're absolutely in love.
I
with
guess
him
at
and he loves you
Starbucks.
in every way, and you feel safe around him. You're not in that position yet, so you can't see an outcome where you would give a little to take a little back. And I'm cool with that. But I will tell you this: when you get up higher in age and the clock's ticking, and that man's good to you, and you trust him, and you feel safe around him, and he's truly your best friend, and you look up to him, and admire him. then
Could
might
you
think differently
imagine
about how you
if
feel now.
if we were
And
able
I'm not
to
saying
get
you're wrong, but
TJ
I'm just
onto this
telling you
show?
that your opinion might change in time.
Like,
Sure. but My point was in response to his, which is would I have a problem with the asymmetry of wanting a woman with a
they
low
would
body
be,
count while
they'd
having
be
high one?
muting his
And I would
mic.
because what I consider a valid reason for preferring a partner with a low body count is that it's better for pair bonding. You're less likely if you don't have that propensity.
Why
to seek
Yondu
novelty,
is
you're less
not
likely to stray.
talking?
People who are more
Yondu.
promiscuous, they tend to be more unfaithful.
Correct.
That cuts
those,
both ways.
Those studies do not. The studies clearly show that it's far, far more likely
Yondu.
the case with women than men. In fact, in some cases, after a certain amount, it's negligible with men. With over 20,
Yeah,
when women have slept with
he'd
over
be
20
saying,
men,
"Let me
70%
finish," like he'd be
chance
hugging
they're
the
still happy
show,
in
and if they have
For
to
men,
take
it
his
does not
mic
show that-
away.
That drop off. It does when we're
And
talking
then
about
he'd say,
virgins.
"Oh, it's because
Talking
I'm
about two
black or
virgins,
whatever."
yes. But the thing, the question you asked before, what is the one thing before you went to the bathroom that you're most upset about with dating? It's that people don't look up these studies. That is the one thing I'm the most upset about. People are listening to Oprah Winfrey and Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg.
I
and
just
Dr.
come
Phil,
here to watch
and
and
they're
mock.
not
Yeah, that's why I
listening to
watch
Dr.
this
David
shit too,
Buss
just for
and
the
Stephen
laugh.
Stewart Williams and Gad Sad. There's studies on every one of these questions that we have, and they've been handled. Beauty is not.
I don't know if you saw the other one, Eric, but they had this
hypergamy is not something that is
commie
cultural. We know now that it's
socialist
genetic.
chick
Sure,
on
let's stay on
here.
topic. So my point
No,
was
but
that like
that
guys
is
are
your
seeking
topic.
virgins, so the reciprocal.
And Well Hung
and
is
Done
that guy who's
called
also a
her
virgin.
cunt
Like you just
front
said, you can
instead
cite a
of
study that proves
Mhm.
that when both partners are
Stormfront.
virgins, there's a higher, like the pair bonding is more intense.
Correct. So
Yeah,
He
but you're not
gets
gonna
so
be attracted to a man
frustrated.
that's
It's
a virgin.
hilarious.
That's the
Yeah.
other problem. Yeah.
But
Can I
guys
just-
typically, when they talk about body count, their ideal body count is 0 in a woman. So I was giving you the converse.
Uneducated guys who don't fuck.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
are
those
the
guys don't
that
have sex.
don't.
Look,
Yes.
you want a low body count. I'll say a single digit number is probably what you're looking for as a man.
I'm not even saying I'm looking for that. Like I said, I don't think you
Single
can deduce
digits.
selectiveness from a number because context matters. You could have gone through a breakup and been traumatized and maybe fucked 80 people in 1 week. but
Yeah,
you
don't-
were
don't
abstinent
say
for
that,
6
Eric.
years.
You're
That's
your
your
fault.
fault.
Broken bird.
Still makes you a hoe. Can
That's
I
a
just
broken
add
bird.
something?
I go ahead. I got one, but go ahead. Let it go.
Okay, I just think, okay, you're overcomplicating things. Again, everyone's overcomplicating.
Oh, the
things.
Harry
I
Potter
don't think
chick.
anyone wants to sleep with a woman or settle down with a woman who has 80 bodies.
Yeah,
That's
Eric, you
disgusting.
could be
How about
crowdfunding a
overcomplicating it?
guitar.
Breaking
Your
down
your,
why
I
your
know
life
you're breaking it down, but
is
it's something
not
that
that
doesn't
bad.
need to be broken down. Most people, if they hear that you have 80 bodies, they'll be like,
That's good. That's
I
I
good.
bet
mean,
you
in
fucking have
comparison
Let
to
me-
these
let me
guys,
tag
I
something on
appreciate
to
it.
that there. The reason why men have a sexual, I won't say revulsion response, because there's a human revulsion response, but it's intense for.
Oh
some
yeah,
people.
the
You wanna get away
beach
from a dead
next to
body.
her
You
start to
wanna get
put
away from
her,
a dead
but
body.
in
You
her
wanna get
commie
away
jacket. Yeah,
from,
remember
things that smell,
the
like
communist
parasites. Yeah,
bitch,
fear of heights. There are things
the
that
one that
human
Risey
beings
had a hard on
instinctually
for, and he
want to
keeps
get
asking me to
themselves away
get her
from,
nudes
okay?
or whatever.
When you're looking for, when
I
a
want
woman,
to talk
it
to
seems
her.
like
She
she's
looks just
easier,
like
she's had
Stormfront.
80 bodies, or she has children from another man. There is a hesitation in men that is instinctual.
Oh,
And the
I'm
reason for
being
that is because
reserved,
that
man.
woman
Car. I've been
represents
threatened with a knife
bad
and
bet
axe so
for his
far.
paternity. That's why the body count matters to guys, and it doesn't matter quite as much to
Commie
women.
Connie.
For a guy who has
Yeah.
a high body count, he had that's
Yeah, she had a little beret and everything. Oh, they called her Bay Guevara. Forgot about that. Yeah, they're like, shut up, Bay Guevara.
or pre-selection. That's what it was. Because if a guy
needs to bring
knows his
that
way
one
around
back.
your body better than you
Like
do, you know
he
his
should
body.
have
You know
that
that he
one
has been
arguing
rewarded by
weekly
other
with these
men
people.
or
Like
other
that. Now
women
that would be a
who,
show.
who have had sex with him in the past. and so he has the
Stormfront
experience to know what he's doing
is
in the
a
bedroom.
Puma
So there's
fist
that
bitch.
aspect.
Just
But then the other
saying.
part of it is this: is that the reason
Don't tell
why
Risey
promiscuity
that.
works one way for men and it does not work. for
Risey
women is
thinks
because
she's
of
hot. Well,
paternity.
maybe kind
It's
of cute in the face,
understanding
but
and the ascertaining whether or
her
not the
tude
child
and the
is
way
his
she
child.
dresses.
Because for
Yes, I said that as well last time when she was on. Yeah, that one was. And that one says she was engaged.
Until we could actually
Up
have
until 19
DNA,
Imagine
DNA
that.
test.
Paternity test.
Yeah,
I'd
so-
like to
so
see
when
that.
men
He should
have
bring that
in
on.
our
Like I would like to
biological
see what's
evolutionary
engaged to
innate
that thing, man.
interests to know or
I
to
mean, that's
try
got to
to
be a real
ascertain whether or
cuck.
not a baby is
That
our
guy's
baby.
probably got a
So
dog
that's
leash
why
on.
men mate guard. That's why when women and men get jealous because of infidelity, men tend to focus on the physical act. Did you have sex with him in the bathroom? Did he come? Did he have a bigger dick than I did? Did you get off? Those are the particulars that guys want to know when infidelity takes place. When a woman gets jealous because of infidelity, it's, do you love her? Am I losing my investment? Is my long-term security
Yeah, that's
with
pretty
this guy,
accurate.
is that endangered? That's why that's where that jealousy comes from. So there's differences because men and women are different and we have different priorities. When it
I would
comes to
like to
reproduction,
watch
as well as
Megan
family creation. as
Docs
well.
talk.
So when we're talking about 80
I'm
bodies,
lying.
when you say, "Hey, I've had 80,
Just
80
move
guys,"
that
that's
butt.
a pool of 80 men, in which one of those guys, or probably some of those guys.
Yeah, I don't
could
know
have
if
been the
that.
guy
I don't
you
know if
can't
that
get
one
over,
is
or
really
maybe he's the
engaged or
guy
whatever.
that whether he did or he didn't doesn't make
No,
any
we don't.
difference. But he's still thinking like on a hindbrain, lizard brain level that there's a possibility that she was
A lizard
impregnated by
brain
one of
level?
these
How
guys and
dare
she
you?
can't get
Why?
it.
Why you
They're a
gotta
bad
insult
bet for
Lorenzo?
maternity.
Yeah, sure.
Infidelity
I
takes
just love that
place,
we
and
revert
you
to these primordial
kick their ass to the
justifications for wanting a
curb.
woman with a low body
Where
count. When
else do you
guys
wanna
are
go?
fucking
Where
with
else- where
condoms,
else would you go
when
with
guys
it?
find it
Where
hard
I
to
else
don't.
would
I
you
don't
go
control
with it?
birth
understand
control,
why
if
these
guys' main
people do
prerogative
all
is to,
this
like, spread their
bullshit,
seed,
man.
then why is it they're looking
Why?
for
Why go to
more
dinner
birth
and do
control?
all
They
this? When
want
I'm
the
at the
attraction
gym,
to it.
man,
They're
I
not
make
talking
eye
about
contact,
intellectual.
start
They're
talking.
I didn't say it was.
They're not.
I
I'm
don't.
saying
All
we
of
use
this
biology
bullshit
as an
going
excuse
going
when
to
reality
dinner
biology
and all
refers
this.
to life
Fuck
and life
that shit,
processes and
man.
You're using
our
evolution as an
capacity
excuse,
for
not
culture.
primordial.
Our
Well,
capacity for
I am
culture
here to
falls under
joke around. You
biology.
can't expect respect
development of
fairness
paternity tests,
with
birth control,
either
condoms,
sex
that
when
all falls under
relationships
biology and our
are
culture.
Culture is
entrenched in the
downstream from biology.
secular realms.
I
But
You
think
don't get you don't get society. You don't.
Why
get
does the
social
man in this
construction
show look
without
so smart and
biology
the women
first that
so
drives
stupid?
that.
yeah, I think you're over intellectualizing.
Ain't that life?
Like when, like you said, it could be boiled down to biology.
That's
Like-
not a response.
Well, no, I just think that
It's a
you're-
response.
No, it is
but
a
your
response.
question is it right? And his response is, this is why it is. So the problem is, what people will do is they'll say, this man is just what is this, a small dick energy or whatever thing that they have to say to make or denigrate men for having some sort of preference. And the reality is, these things happen because men have 17 times as much testosterone as women, and throughout our evolutionary history, we are the ones that were the disposable gender. And because of that, we compete with other men for women. The men who make it to the top throughout history have had more sexual partners. That's just the way that it's been. It's not an excuse. If you have every right to think it's wrong if you want to think it's wrong, but it's not hypocritical because we're different. If you and I were to join the Marine Corps, I have to do more push-ups than you because the world is different for men than it is for women. If you and I were to join the fire department, I have to do more pull-ups than you because men and women are different. And so in this case, it's the same thing. I am not sure of the paternity of the child, of your child, but you always are. And because of that reason, your body count will always matter more than mine. That's just a function of biology.
Well, it's
That's
like
a
buying a
justification
car.
for not being polyamorous. Not
Do I
for
want a
having-
new
not
car?
having
Do I
high
want a
body
car with
count. So that makes sense
500,000
why you wouldn't want your
miles?
girlfriend to be fucking 10 guys at once because you
If
wouldn't
I
put it
got
started.
money, I'll
If a
buy
girl
a
fucked 80 guys
car.
10 years ago and has been abstinent still, has
Megan
a
Dogs
justification for
are
having
so
sex.
bored,
vague
baby.
hesitation.
Okay,
She
I
does not
also just
understand
wanted to say,
English.
on the
It does
topic of
not care
biology,
anyways.
Women literally.
No, she talks once in a while,
they
but it's just
menstruate-
mostly these idiots.
menstruate around.
This
like,
stupid
male
Harry
testosterone.
Potter
Like, the
bitch
more
keeps
they're
trying to
exposed to
troll
testosterone,
and
the more
hog
they
the
have
show.
sex, the more their cycle will align with that because of a very biological thing.
What is your point?
My point is that you're just intellectualizing again something that is very basic.
What does menstruation have to do with this?
Yeah, you don't want to get buyer's
Because-
remorse. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not finished.
That's all you.
I mean,
Jeez.
you said you were in
That's
COD
all
lobby,
you.
so you
Hate
should be
that.
used
I
to it.
hate that chick, man. That one is just here to
Okay,
troll.
what I
go,
was just
say your
saying
thing.
Was that biological?
If you're gonna be here to troll, at least make it good. She just
our bodies
sucks.
do sort of correspond with males. Like it's like the testosterone that they emit kind of triggers something in us, like the pheromones. So you can't just intellectualize something when it's already so.
Okay, you wanted to go. Go ahead.
Basically, the reason why men cheat is not because they don't like the girls. For us, like when you sleep with a guy, we're emotionally invested. For a guy, he's not emotionally.
Harry
invested.
Potter
Most
Latino
of
is
the
in her
time, it's just
20s,
for him
obviously, and
women.
thinks she
And
knows.
then the
Yeah.
next morning after, and the next morning after, you know,
She's
that
probably
one-night
the one
stand,
that
is
gave
that
Well-Read
feels
his
less married.
15%
And
loan.
he feels like he doesn't see a life with you.
She
He
paid
doesn't-
attention in social studies.
Exactly. But you know, he doesn't see a life with you and he doesn't see you as a partner or relationship or anything. And
Oh, well-read
for a female,
channel
it's,
got struck. I
for
saw. That
guys,
was
it's all
funny.
performance. It's performance based. For females, we don't really do as much during like, you know, when we're
I wonder if Risey
usually
did
like,
that.
"Hi."
Can I clarify something? You were
I'd laugh if
saying
Risey did that.
because what you're bringing up is kind of a common misperception. Okay, it's like, well, and I see this in the chat as well. Here is that it's like it's no longer the devil made me do it. It's my biology made me do it, and we don't have any control over it. No, we absolutely are responsible for our own actions and for as far as the results and any of the consequences that come after that. I'm not, you know, saying that we should be absolved of any of those things. The other thing is that
I mean, I don't.
you're conflating what's known.
I don't know what I'm gonna do in life if I don't have these biased reviews with a monotone voice.
So in an evolutionary perspective, I might.
I don't know anything about Railroad. I know everyone talks about him all
I
the
wonder if she'd
time.
be a really good mother for my
Gangster rap
children.
made
I
me
wonder
do
if
it.
We could start a family together and we could reproduce and like my focus is on actually, you know, breeding with this woman that I just met in the club. My focus is on I want to tap that ass.
Hey, Vicky.
That's the approximate goal. The ultimate goal is having kids and having a family and everything else. Now, that ultimate
What do you
goal
think of
is
our
something that
Harvard
is
graduates here,
also
Vicky?
downstream once again from the biology.
Society's
So
best.
approximate goal and ultimate goal are both downstream from the biological fact that this is what men are about.
Just one thing on biology, right? So, and Roller, you were making.
Ian
the
is a
argument, hey, it's
queer.
difference in biology, paternity, uncertainty.
His
and
his
you sort
channel
of
got
projected
struck
that
down.
a little bit. At least that was my impression.
No, I didn't object to it.
She's not.
I'm saying the objection could also be based in biology.
Sure.
Wait, what's
We,
the
we were
objection?
laughing
no, it's
before
the
you came in
biology
that it
made
would
me
be
do it.
funny if Risey did that.
My
Well,
my
you say
self
biology
my
is an
selfish
excuse.
gene made me
Biology
do
is an
it.
excuse.
I'm saying our involvement of culture is also biological. Like you said,
But
culture
it's
follows
downstream.
downstream.
It's always, but our involvement in culture is always set up so that it fits our biology. Does that make sense? We don't build cities made of sulfur and ammonia, right? Because they're toxic to human beings, and we don't generally jump off.
Car
off our
count, you're
balconies
older
every
than
day
me. Get a
in
wife and go
elevators.
back to
Our
counting cars.
societies are created for the safety and procurement of Homo sapiens. So that's biology leads culture.
I
Does that
don't
make
know.
sense?
I
Every
just
country,
saw
biology leads culture.
But
It's never the other way around.
I think what
I
you
saw
were
a
kind of
post
getting
that
at
El
is you were
Hombre
saying, well,
was
when you
talking
have
to
sex with
him, and he
someone,
said his channel
you
got
mentioned birth
struck,
control, for example. Well, why?
and
You know,
he
what's
has
the deal
some
with
other
birth
channel that
control?
he's
You know,
doing
you
his
you recall when you said
biased
that?
reviews on right now
So
because his channel got. He didn't say on there what
I
it
guess
was.
my response to you is,
My
well,
guess is that
you're kind
Puma
of
struck him
saying
down
men should
because he played his video and
disregard their
made
sort
fun
of
of
innate
him.
biological
That would be
response
my
to this.
guess if
Then
I was
shouldn't
to
women
guess.
also, for example,
Unless Risey did it. If
disregard their
Risey did it,
attraction
I'd have a
towards men who are
laugh.
tall, for example, which has a root in biology? Or, sorry, go ahead.
I was saying men already
Yeah,
disregard
he
that
was
biological
playing
need when they
Puma's
fuck with a condom on because if they're
content or whatever, and they
if their
were
goal is to spread
bagging
their
on him.
seed,
So
'cause that's what the
I'm assuming
biological
he saw
instinct
that
is,
and shut it
he
down.
kind of made the differentiation between approximate desire and then ultimate desire.
Or a conscious desire and a subconscious.
I'm
desire.
guessing
You have
that's
a
what happened.
neocortex, that's
I
what
just,
celebrates
I
your
would
self-respect,
laugh so hard if
celebrates
Risey
your
actually did that.
you can cognitively your genes have no
She's trying
your
to
genes
look
don't
like she
understand what
has
contraceptives
a
are. If your genes
clue,
understood what
Yana
contraceptives
Fui.
are, they never let you use them. Your
I'm
genes want to
curious to
replicate
what
themselves.
got Ian
You
put in
cognitively
YouTube
understand what
jail.
contraceptives are.
Was it
You
the little
subconsciously
porn
do
clips
not, and
he's
that's
been
where
playing during
the
streams?
the conundrum comes in.
Exactly
Well,
what
Red's
Michael
been
said.
playing
You
short
can-
porn
you can
clips. I
want to
guess
spread
he
your
thinks
seed. That's
it's
the objective
edgy.
of sex, right?
Oh, this
But
is
you can
whatever where
do
these
that at a time where you're not
bitches
ready.
come on and they get. It's the
So
same thing
your
as
biology,
Kiana, but
your
this
genes,
guy and
everything's
these
telling
guys
you, like, I
troll
wanna
them,
go through with this.
just make them look
Right
like
up here you're
idiots,
saying, I don't wanna
which they
kill you.
are.
So it has nothing to do
And they
with
think they're having
Well, I
this
would
like
say also most people who are
sophisticated
having sex,
Starbucks
it's more
conversation.
for it's like casual.
It's recreational.
It's sorry, yeah, excuse me, recreational. Yes. I want to have just a little back and forth with you.
the thing about the tall preference.
A little
How
bit, but
how in the
it
how
was
in the
more
hell
so.
can you
I guess you said it was a bit of a double standard.
play porn
right?
clips on a
Well, you
stream
said okay when it comes like for example a guy who has a high body
and
count,
get away with it?
you object to him.
There's no
desiring a
clout for
partner
you here.
who
Oh,
has a low
thank
body
But
God.
then how come short women can desire
Yeah, I
tall
don't
men?
want
Is
any
that what you were gonna
clout.
ask?
Can we play what is
preempting me a
Megan
little bit there,
thinking?
but basically, I mean, I guess my question to you
I'd
is:
like to know that too.
is it wrong to desire things in a partner that you yourself do not possess?
No, and I don't think that was the basis of my argument. We were talking about a study which posits that two virgins have the optimal marriage success rate. So I'm saying in that's not.
Well, I think you're shifting a little bit because initially I think you were.
Yeah,
saying
this is the one with the where
I
the
don't know
guy
your
fought with
exact
the
wording,
trans
but
and
it
the
sounded
trans
like
left the
you
show and
objected
was
to, for
screaming
example, a
about
guy who has a high
you're not
body
a true
count
Christian and all
desiring a
that.
woman with a low
Yes,
body
in that
count.
specific instance, but I'm not making the generalization that you can't want something that you personally lack.
There's
I was saying in
too
that
many
specific
people
instance,
on
it
the
doesn't map
show.
on
That's the
because of
problem.
study we mentioned.
Why
where
why
it does
he
map
has
on.
to
It's not
have this
reasonable to
many
hope.
on?
Like I'm just gonna be honest with you.
It would be a lot better if it was just like 4 chicks at most,
infinitesimally low.
and then 4 of them.
Why? I
Because when
thought
you
guys are
have,
more often
I mean,
virgins
look at
than
all these
girls. It's
other
way
gals.
harder
Like
for
they've
guys to
hardly
get
said
laid.
anything.
I agree with that. You won't be attracted to him. No matter what you tell
Megan,
us about
who
your
will
energy
have
and
it
the
bigger?
connection and the chemistry. No offense. Like I just don't believe.
Agreed.
Fully
Too
understand
many.
your
Yeah, there's
attraction.
too many.
I think later on, when
Yeah,
you come
these
to the
people are
realization,
crazy.
you keep finding these certain individuals attractive for certain reasons, and those reasons have to do with hypergamy. You're going to come to the realization that the things that cause those men to be virgins are the reasons why you won't be attracted to them. And the likelihood of you finding a man that you have chemistry with is far more likely with a man who is attractive to the opposite sex. So the likelihood of you finding a dude who is also a virgin it becomes progressively lower, and probably lower the longer you wait. It becomes progressively lower.
Well,
Sorry, I just wanted to go back to the
Like
point where
some
you said,
streams
like,
have
oh,
too many people
they're
on the
fucking us with
panel. Yeah.
condoms because they don't want to have kids. I think the reason why they're fucking you with condoms, not you specifically, but in general, is because you've made yourself so easy. Like they don't want to fuck someone who might give them gonorrhea, in my opinion. I think it's more of a safety.
No, they want to fuck. Other
Wonder
girls,
how
but
much
they don't-
I don't
cellulite
think she's
from
wrong,
her
but I don't know
ass
where
is
that
in
came
her
from.
No, I don't
lips.
know. Well, no. It's been stuck in my
It's
mind.
the
'cause she
proximate
mentioned-
goal.
she
Like,
mentioned
I
the
want to get
thing,
off
and
with
I'm
that
just
girl. We
It
got
was a
it.
dunk that came out of nowhere, but I don't know where that. I don't know how we.
You know,
She said it
I
was
find it
Fall
funny.
foul.
Why are
Technical
these
two,
girls
two
looking
free
for
throws. So it's
virgins?
a good point, but I don't know how we got there.
Like,
Question for you.
what is the point of that? Like, I don't know why they would.
Marrying a virgin guy.
Yeah.
A virgin looks at
Yeah.
these
No, I
ones
don't
and
care.
probably
Like I
be
said,
like,
I don't conflate
"Oh, I need to go
selectiveness with
go
body
buy
count.
more
Reiterate,
Pokemon
that's all I'm
cards or
saying.
something to impress her,
That I
or
don't value the guy
get
paying
my
attention to
rogue up
someone
to
who's
level 80
selective
on
and that
WoW
has
or
high
something."
standards. Because to me that's
I
what
was
correlates to
wondering the
infidelity.
same thing.
Do
So
you think there's
Aniko.
men out there that would be with you and have not slept with women that are less attractive than you?
wait, can
Maybe
you rephrase
Nasser
that?
finally
For
has a
example, if you
chance.
date a man, would you expect that all the women that he had slept with would be at your level or higher?
Oh, that's not even technically what I meant by selectiveness. I more so don't want to date a guy who's so horny and down bad that he gets like one DM from a girl and he jumps on it. Does that make sense? So that's what I judge fidelity on. That's like the parameter I use, not body
Ladies, how do
count.
you feel about a man who fulfilled one comic book successfully and then tried to sell
Did I say
toys
I'm not
ripping off
selective?
gremlins?
I'm highly
She's a virgin.
selective.
And he
Well,
hates
no, but
cats.
You
Allegedly.
were saying how like,
Thoughts?
you don't care if like they're fat, if they're this. if
That's
they're
mighty
that, or
hopeful.
have less money.
Level
I'm
up my
selective, just using a
Pikachu.
different metric than you are.
So you just want them to be like smart and funny, basically.
Yeah, I would say that's still highly selective. The average
Yeah.
person is a dumbass.
The average person is actually average. The average person has a 100 IQ. I understand what you're saying. The average person is not a dumbass. It's just they're overrepresented by Sorry, I'm going to go down a path and get myself in deep shit. Sorry.
Oh, we got another one.
Yeah, and we'll
Got a
do.
live one.
We got a couple super chats here coming in. I just wanted to kind of put a cherry on top on our little conversation. So what I was kind of getting at, and I don't know if you've kind of almost
Nasser
walked
has
back
a
your position
girlfriend.
little bit,
He's
but
been cool to me. I
think
know
it's
people dunk
this whole
on
thing
him.
of women objecting, for example,
Yeah,
to a
Nasser
man who
has a
high body
girlfriend?
count, and he doesn't want
Manicure
woman
says the
with a high body
dumbass.
count, or he wants a woman with a low body count. I mean, women desire traits in men. All
I don't
the
care
time
about
that they don't
Nasser one way or
possess
the other,
themselves. They
really.
want a
I mean,
guy
he don't
who's
bother me
funny,
none. I
but
know
they're not
Risey
funny.
doesn't like
They want a
him.
guy who's rich, but she's not rich. They want a guy who's charismatic.
I know ever
She's
since
not
Stu
charismatic.
left the show,
So,
it's
I
been
mean,
downhill,
I
though.
think it's both men and women desire traits in partners that they themselves don't possess. Men and women we're not equal.
Sure, if I prefer a brunette guy over blonde, that's a preference. When guys talk about preferring a girl who's a virgin, that's not their preference. That's a philosophy. They're saying a
anyone
girl
here
who's
is
a
saying
virgin.
virgin.
They're
It's
saying
not
a
a
girl.
philosophy.
It
That's
is.
a preference.
It's a preference on the fact that they think that girl is
Oh,
nice to
God,
appreciate. They
man.
think she'll make a better wife. When I prefer a brunette, it's not because I think he's gonna be a better husband. It's not because I think it'll propagate the nuclear family in America more than a blonde. But when they talk about girls with low body counts, that's kind of what they're propagating.
So what you're saying is that it's
They're
more
conflating.
valid-
they're
Imagine
conflating-
being with
I'm
this
saying they're
one.
not really
She'd
referring
be
to
on the
preference,
couch
they're saying
explaining
there's a
to
reason I use
you
the term
about
low-value
trans
woman. I'm not
fats
calling a brunette
and
a
how you
high-value
shouldn't
guy
eat
or
trans
blonde a low-value
fats
guy.
and going
Red
into
pillars
long
will call a girl with a high
explanations
body count
about
low value and a girl with a
irritating
virgin high
shit.
value. So it's not preference.
What a
they're-
stupid
they're
bitch,
mapping onto
Hungry.
what they
Where did
consider
you get these?
objective
These aren't my
virtues.
because this is the
prefer a
show.
woman with a low body count
I
isn't
miss Soy
a
Rage
preference.
slash
It
Stu.
is,
Yeah.
but you know the sphere we're referring to, the red
Philosophy,
pill sphere, they'll say
philosophy.
that's an
Yeah.
A
objective
man who has
virtue.
never even heard of these terms.
Have you heard of
could
the
have
red
a
pill sphere?
preference.
I've never heard of this.
Red
You
pill
got a
sphere,
real
is that what
Plato
we're calling it
there.
now?
What is-
I
what
thought it
is-
was a manosphere.
What
I
red
thought it
pill is
was-
this? What is
yeah,
this
what
thing she
pill-
speaks of?
I don't know why you're attaching this. I mean, before the red pill's a fairly new. I mean, within the past 10 years, really.
20
Where the
years.
patriarchy
The
inherently
difference-
impressive.
What marks a
Um,
preference is subjectivity, but when guys talk about girls with low body counts, they're typically thinking of it in an objective way. So even a guy who's not red pilled, they'll probably say this girl with a low body count is objectively better, right? That's why it's,
I'm
it's
really
still a
not-
preference, but
Right.
you understand what I'm
but,
saying?
but that judgment is based on their biology and it's based on subconscious effects that's happened through evolutionary psychology,
But
right?
it's not really a preference
don't
for
think
them
so.
specifically. They're
But-
saying it's a
but-
preference
better
for their
for what?
gender.
Better
Men
for
just
what?
don't want to fuck
Huh?
horse.
Better for what? Yeah, they do.
Okay,
Better
but
for
they
what?
want to fuck horse, but
What
they
do you
don't
mean?
want to like.
Every
A
man
woman-
wants a slut. He
Okay,
just
they
wants her
want
to
a
be
slut,
his
but, like,
slut.
they don't want to marry that slut.
Every man wants a slut. He just wants her to be his.
So if
Yeah.
I like brunettes over blondes, I'm not gonna say girls prefer brunettes over blondes. When guys say I have a preference for low body count, typically they say guys prefer girls with
So-
low
so
body
let-
count.
let-
Do you understand why that's not necessarily a preference? Because
No,
they're
it's
not
still-
they're
it's
not
still a
speaking
preference.
specifically for themselves. That's why I'm saying it's more of a philosophy.
I prefer vanilla ice cream over poop ice
Philosophy.
cream, and that's because of my genetics. Like that's the reason why. Let's go back.
Car
Let's go back to
count
this
is
other thing
right.
you were saying. How about this double standard? I know several men, and I have several clients that are under 6 feet tall, and they don't get chosen by women, shockingly. Some of them don't get. They have a harder time with women than taller men. That preference is also based in evolution, and we as men are fully aware of it. Do you think that's also a double standard that women have towards men?
Do women create a culture of podcasting and memes ridiculing men who are under 6 feet tall?
Yes.
Do I tell
Whoa,
a 5'10" guy is low
yes.
value?
Yes.
In retaliation?
Ooh.
I don't
Yes.
know.
Call her daddy, the biggest podcast in the world.
$50
Yes.
million,
I'm
by
just
the
saying
way.
I have yet to see. I have yet to see a blue
Roasted,
pill
man.
No, it's not Blue Pill Podcast. 'Cause
Roasted.
no, there's all these things.
Oh,
What do you call a
man,
guy who's
this
5'11"?
new
A friend? You haven't seen this meme?
Watch anything by Ben
Absolutely.
Shapiro and Matt Walsh. You'll see a Blue Pill
Absolutely.
podcast.
They crucify men. And they actually show, when you look at dating apps, they show Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge. They show a distribution of what women find attractive. And 6'3" is actually the prime number. Once you get above 6'3", 6'6", it actually starts to drop. At 6 feet tall, you're still really high. It goes 6 feet, and at 5'11", it plummets. This doesn't happen in Europe because they use the metric system. The United States, at 5'11", it plummets. Yes, men do get ridiculed for being short. Yes, they do.
That's not being ridiculed.
Yeah,
They're
it is.
not being-
you just
they're not being,
described is
they're
like
not being
ridiculed.
chosen selectively, and they're being made fun of for being short. I hear women all the time. I listen to women talk all the time, and one of the main complaints is he's a great guy, but he's too short. So women
That's
are
not ridicule.
Yeah, no.
That's
no,
literally
no,
in that
no.
instance preference.
No, listen, because when I
Where's the
said
ridicule?
when I said I wouldn't
I
fuck
don't
a fat
think
bitch,
she
you got mad, but all
understands
of a
the
sudden,
difference
now that height is
between,
into the equation for men, like
preferences and philosophies.
Some of you got mad. At the
She
whole
seems to
fat
think
bitch
they're
thing.
the same
So
thing.
We're not mad anymore. We've moved on
Okay,
from
I know we
since
moved
then.
on, but I'm just saying.
that was like about like an hour ago.
Okay, I know, but
Okay.
I'm just saying
My
that
point-
like that has everything to do with it. Like, because height, it's in the.
Well, it's a
symbol.
biological thing.
It's a
Okay, that's another thing. Is it's an innate preference if you want to use those terms. But there's a difference between saying I want a girl who's got like a brunette girl and a blonde girl, whatever. That's that's a fetish, a preference, whatever. But the reason why I am hesitant to get with the single mommy is because I have 100,000, 200,000 years of evolution that says that woman is provably already raising the child, or I would have to raise the child of another man right there. So that hesitancy is not a preference. It is a biological adaptation to be aware that if I go and I put my resources towards raising that, participating in the parental
No, she
investment
does
of
not
another
want you
man's
here
child.
just to say shit to the patriarchy. Yeah.
You're failing to understand that the double standard of promiscuity applies to marriage. Men want female virgins for marriage. For Institute for Family Studies, multiple sex partners reduced marital quality for women but not men.
Alvin Sam, thank you for the big $200 donut. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I would say in general, women aren't necessarily more or less attracted to men based off their body count. But if we're trying to propagate the healthiest and most successful institution of marriage, that's based off both partners being virgins until marriage.
The original
The
point you both
dude,
made was about a double
the
standard.
dude
The
that's
thing is,
going
look,
to
it's
get
right
her
on the
will
part about this double
probably
standard.
cheat on her.
For
Yeah,
me,
I mean,
being afraid to be with a woman who's been with 80 guys, there's actual studies that
I just think
show
she'd be
from
really
an
annoying.
evolutionary standpoand, Institute for Family Studies.
Like
the
you
study I
couldn't
just
watch
brought up,
TV or
there's actual
anything. She
studies
would
that
just
show
be
that
nitpicking
can
and
be
going,
deleterious for
"Oh,
women.
why are you watching
For
this?
you to
This
choose a
is
man who's under 6
patriarchy
feet
crap.
tall, some of the best
I want to
fighters
watch
on the planet
90
are
Day
under 6 feet tall. Some
Fiance.
of the baddest
Turn this
Marines
off."
and Navy SEAls on earth are under 6 feet tall. Probably most of them. And so the point is, where you're provisioning, the reason why women prefer tall men is for protection. The protection paradigm doesn't fit anymore in 2023 because a guy who's 5'6" can buy a Glock. It's a different world now. So what we have to believe, as far as our prejudice against a woman with a high body count, still is effective. It's still an effective protection for us in 2023, but women choosing taller men is actually irrational.
Oh,
It's
man.
actually irrational. Jeff Bezos
Had to put earplugs
it's actually
in.
irrational for you to do that. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's the reason why.
Just
for
keep
our
saying,
preferences,
"Uh-huh,
that both of these
okay."
preferences are based in evolution. But our preference actually still makes sense. Whereas the preference for tall men actually, and I'm saying this as a guy who's 6'2", the preference for tall men actually doesn't make sense anymore. It doesn't. And that's the thing that's so crazy about it. So I actually think the for women, men choosing women with a low body count actually makes more sense from an evolutionary standpoint, is not a philosophy and is actually just a preference that's based on evolution.
You see, and just one thing really quick. You said that you seem to have an issue if we use the plural. So if on an individual level, a guy says, I don't want a girl.
She doesn't
with a
comprehend
high
big
body
words.
count, you consider that a preference. But if a guy were to say, men, generally speaking, don't want women who are promiscuous or don't want women with high body count, then that becomes a what? You said that's a philosophy,
I didn't
right?
say it's a philosophy
said
because of
it's
the
a philosophy.
plurality. I said it's a philosophy because it's usually tied to the idea that
Yes,
this
you
is what's
can
better
be
for
like
society. The downfall of
5'6"
Western
and be a
society is
black
because of
belt or
female
some shit.
promiscuity. That's usually what gets
The most
conflated with this idea
successful
of low body
dudes these
count.
guys can land would be a used car salesman
would it also be
in
a philosophy
Bismarck,
then
South
to
Dakota,
say that if a woman were to say, generally speaking, women prefer
or
men who are tall,
a son
is that
of
philosophy, or is
the
that just
oil
an
kings.
acknowledgement of
It's a philosophy
women's
if they talk about it in a reciprocal way to the way they just did. So if I were to say tall men are objectively better, and if I was like a tall man supremacist because I said, you know,
A
short
tall
men are
man
less than, tall men are what
supremacist?
we need for protection, but usually women aren't even necessarily thinking about protection like he was saying. It's kind of a false equivalency
But
at
they
this
are
point.
still attracted to
They
those men.
are, but he was asking what delineates between the preference and the philosophy, so that was my answer.
Bruh.
What?
Can we move on?
Yeah, can we please
I
move
have a-
on?
I have a
real
question.
We're like in the okay.
You asked me.
Yeah, what an idiot.
I know that the height thing is actually like a real issue for girls.
Hold on just a sec.
Ivan Jr.
Thank you,
donated
Ivan. Appreciate it, man.
$200. Men following model types doesn't mean they want one. Social media is an illusion. A cheater is a cheater with /out social media. Listen to Waller. Feminism pushed both into working. Have ladies lost trust to be dependent on men and let them lead? Study 70.
I'm a
Ivan, thank you for the
Cecil
$200
supremacist.
super chat, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
You need to take us to Burger King with all these $200 super
know,
chats.
man.
Hey,
Let's
there
go
we
make
go.
Mike
Let's go
Davis
back to the
rich. Let's go
boathouse,
make
man.
Mike Davis rich. Come on, he's already rich.
Okay, we
He's
got-
got
we got-
300 fucking Burger Kings.
We got a couple hand raises here, so why don't we'll go you,
Oh, no, Aspen was hand.
Aspen.
I
then we'll
guess
go you, we'll go you. Go ahead.
My
the
question
guy
is,
from
how
Neurotics moved
can
over to this
we-
show,
'cause
giving
I
them
really
all their
liked your
super
point about
chats.
it actually still being a problem for women to have high body counts, but it's really not a problem for
But what
guys to
philosophy
be
is
short and
related
beat
to
them. How do
wisdom?
we
No
help girls get
preference.
over this?
I mean, there's a lot of ways to do this. I actually think a function of gratitude, and maybe here's the issue that happens, and this isn't the solution, but this is part of the problem. What happens is a girl will go through her life and she'll be pretty average on social media. There's no average for men. Men are really good on social media, or they look terrible. For women, women can be average and still slide into a celebrity's DMs and still have sex with the celebrity, right? There's numerous stories about Leonardo DiCaprio, numerous about different guys just running through girls throughout Hollywood.
Oh,
Chris
that
Brown,
George guy, yeah. The guy that was saying Neurotics, insane money.
And their rosters never end.
She's
okay,
not
when it comes to
clear
that.
on the
problem is
concept of
once she has sex
philosophy.
with Blake Griffin the first time, or Nick Cannon, or whoever, every man from that point.
No, she thinks philosophy and
or
preference
rather,
are the same
She
thing.
measures her value based on the fact that she fucked.
I
an
want
NBA
to
power
walk
forward. Now,
into
every
one
guy
of these
after that
shows
has to
and tell the
compare to
women,
NBA power forward.
make
And
me
when
a,
he
a
does it,
sandwich
because of
in
his
Shane
finances, or
Davis'
his height, or
voice.
whatever reason, she has an easier escape route. It's easier to pull the ripcord and to get out because she's already knows that she could have sex with the guy in her mind. Maybe she can change him. She can be the one to wife him up, or for her to be wifed up. And I see this several times where I have a lot of my female friends who are delusional, who live in Los Angeles, and they're saying, yeah, so-and-so, I used to date so-and-so. And I'm like, no, you didn't. I know him and his wife. I'm sure he fucked you. I have no doubt whatsoever. That dude never claimed you for one fucking second in his life. And I've seen this happen over and over again. And these girls legitimately defined their own attractiveness and their standard by some celebrity they had sex with. Or it could be, let's take it all the way back. You're in high school and it's the quarterback of the football team, or it's the manager at the Denny's. Let's bring it way down. It's still like that. And so when that happens, you end up with women having.
I want to see Andrew Tate on. Yeah, yeah, they should get Andrew Tate on it. That would be funny.
And so now everyone has to
Shane
be at that range.
Dedvis.
And now they have what's called dopamine resets. Dr. Andrew Huberman talks about this. Their dopamine resets.
I want to see
like
TJ on
only
here.
feel attraction for these men who are at these like unattainable
Apex
levels. And then once they hit 30, once they hit, the end of once they get to an epiphany phase, then all of a sudden those things don't become quite as important. And that's another evolutionary adaptation. Because now they look back
she's
and
just
now,
sitting there
when they were
showing those
23 and
beauties
didn't want to
off.
settle down and wanted to date the power forward. Now they're 30. They look back and now there's a 23-year-old who is dating that power forward, and he's not calling.
Well,
her
that's
back
what she's
in.
thinking,
Or if
right?
he does, it's just for sex. And so that's the problem. And so for women, a cognitive recognition that this is the cycle that you're going through, and then deciding to not go through that cycle. That's the only thing that I can tell you. I mean, it's hard.
Yeah, it sounds like you have to actually rewire your brain and realize the good that
You have to
I think-
understand the
those,
situation,
Understand
and
the
conditions
situation
you are
and
in.
an exceptional amount of gratitude for the situation that you're in.
yeah,
I
and
think
see
would
the
also be
other good
helpful.
qualities that the guy might have and raise those higher than his height. You literally
He
just
actually
have to
probably has
realize-
more good qualities than the celebrity you had sex with,
Well,
but
I
you're
mean,
not
in their
noticing it.
head, yeah, in
Yes.
their head. They
Well,
have
what,
to
what, I
rewire.
mean, when you were first telling us your situation, when I asked you, like, are your standards or are your the guys you dated in your past, are they
Hey,
people
Mark.
you idealize as being the guy who would be,
It looks like it. She looks pretty damn close.
A good long-term relationship. The reason is because when women get to be about 28, 29,
But no, that's not Megan Fox. I don't know who that is.
phase, and that's when women start to reprioritize those things. So when she was like 18 years old, she might be looking for nothing but the hottest guy that she can get with, like an athlete, a rock star, whatever it is, because that's the sexual energy, that whatever you want to call it, that she is at the peak of her game, and she can get that. Once she gets down to be about 29, 30, 31 years old, it's not that she doesn't want a hot guy. She does. It's just that the priority switches where he's got
Stop looking at the camera. Weird-looking glasses, lady.
Love God and go forward.
Well, she's
I
looking
think
at
that
the
that is
chat and
happening
stuff.
to me. Like I think that's actually starting to
Mhm.
happen, where it feels like I'm just maturing and being like, oh, like,
Where's
what are
Well
the-
Hung
these
and
more
Dung? We
important
need him to
qualities?
send a super
Because-
chat.
Because you're
But
thinking
when
in
I
the
was
long term.
young,
Finally,
I was like, I
Mhm.
want somebody that's hot and tall.
Well,
and,
you're coming out of
takes
what
himself.
not my words. You're coming out of what's called the hoe phase. 18 to 28 years old. That's when they're at the party. I was nice. I called it the party phase.
Exploration
Yes,
phase.
because you can afford to do that. Like when women say, men ain't shit. And when women say, men are threatened by powerful, or men are threatened by powerful men, or they have fragile egos, or where are all the good guys? Those women.
She
tend to
was
be
looking
29,
over
30,
her
31 years
shoulder
old or older
when
than
the
that, because that
cameraman was
becomes a
there.
priority for them at that point. You don't hear that from younger women.
It's funny because I have a lot of friends that are my age,
Mhm.
and they're virgins and they're single and they're gonna be amazing partners.
Mhm.
And so hearing what you're saying is actually making it make more sense.
Mhm.
But I do also feel that
Closer to the mic.
I do also feel that the guys aren't taking responsibility and
Oh, yeah.
like
You're
being,
correct in that
like,
assumption.
And so it's like there's like this trade-off. Like we're gonna not I wouldn't say lower our
We have
standards,
Megan Dox,
but our
Mia
priorities
Khalifa,
are
and
switching,
Avril
and then
Lavigne.
the guys I think are starting to wake up at that age too.
For sure. I would also argue that when you get to be 29, 30, 31 years old, you also got to remember that coincides with when women say, my biological clock is ticking, which is actually untrue. It was really probably when you were 22, 23 years old.
Fucking
and then on top of
back,
that,
man.
what is the average age of first marriage in the United States? 29, 30 for men and 28, 29 for women. So it all coincides right at that point, conveniently.
Let's get a couple soup chats in here. Did you guys still have a point? You had a hand raised earlier. We can get to it after
I
the chats, or
honestly
you
forgot
forgot.
what the question
Sure,
Let's
we
bring
can
in
come
the
back to it.
birthday
You guys
cake
know.
from Chuck E.
All right, Avon
Cheese.
Jackson, thank you for the 100. Avery, can you read this one?
Yo, can y'all fucking chill with these? Am I allowed to say that word? I
Just blank over it.
don't- Blank ass open-ended questions. Nobody gives a fuck, my friends. Be funny, make a comment, or shut the fuck up, please. And thank you also, Farah, is at Mr. Girl levels of never answering a question without a thorough meta combo first.
Word.
No, he's right. But then again, I'm just talking. You got to realize that I'm 18. I'm way younger than everybody else in this panel.
Wait.
I'm not way younger, but then again, as you said, I have the right to be in my home phase right now.
Mia
So anything I
Kanika.
shoot out-
Hold on, wait.
No, well,
No one
there's
has a right
girl-
or
there's
I
a
not
said
a
you were
right.
in
Ah,
your
that's
home
true.
phase.
Well,
I said,
but there's a girl.
right.
It's like I have a
There's
right
in
for
a-
men.
Deserves got nothing to do with it.
Deserves got nothing to do
Did
with
you
it.
hear
just
the
get to do it.
bot?
You do
I'm
it or
a
you don't do
troll
it.
expert.
But then again,
Yeah.
I do believe in a relationship. I strongly do believe in a relationship. But going forward right now, I don't see that because that does not.
There you
benefit
go.
me in any way.
Screenshot it,
I
Yanafui.
need
You're
somebody
famous.
that benefits me, that helps me push me to my goal. And if you don't do that, then there's
You don't need a man.
exactly. And so I'll just be the man and I play the man for so long until someday one guy will walk up to me and be that male lead and show me that, that I don't need to
That guy
be
will have to
all-
be
all-
more of a man than you are.
Exactly.
And he'll have to be into men
Exactly.
as well.
Wait.
What?
Huh?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
No, because you become the man you want to marry. Why would you want to get with, like, why would a guy want to get with another guy? If he was assuming he's heterosexual.
That's true. But then again, I do have female qualities. It's not just because it's just a front.
Do you think
because
that you
I
should
have-
develop those female? Well, you're 18, right?
Of course.
Do you think you
I
should
do.
either?
I
Do you think?
eventually
Do you think
down
that
the line I
perhaps
will.
maybe you need to lean into your feminine a little bit?
Of course.
And where,
But,
where
you know,
do they
down the line,
find
I
some
will
of these
experience
gals,
that.
man?
But right now, I'm so focused on
Like
many different qualities.
Khalifa
want to be doctors.
and the
some
Harley
wanna be
Quinn.
lawyers.
The Harley Quinn I've
I'm
seen on here a
18, I'm
bunch of
starting to learn
times.
that.
But those other ones, they just look like
Well, you
they
said-
found
you
them
said- you said you
outside
wanted to, like,
hanging
a
out or
couple-
something.
Some people, you know,
Did
go
I
from
misread the
18 to
situation?
19.
She's in her
So
party-
if
party
so
years.
if I get into a relationship, how does that push me to become a nurse? What does that male do to push me to be a nurse? Does he tell me to wake up on time to go to my classes? Does he tell me to pay? Does he pay for my
Thank you
courses?
for agreeing
actually?
with my tweet from this week.
I,
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
I think you're setting yourself up for failure in a way. If you're like doing your whole phase this early, like you're not going to end up with meaningful relationships if you keep it up.
Speaking of
having a meaningful relationship
Well, it seems like that's what you
is
seek.
two different things. There's also a main person.
All
and
of
there's
this-
a side person.
all
As
of
a
this
guy,
bullshit all the
there's always
time,
gonna
man.
Be some guys out there.
I
There's going
just-
to be a main, and there's going to be a side. The main will always.
I just
get
couldn't
mad at you at
imagine-
everything,
Oh,
every
sorry.
little thing.
This is
not
your
that you
philosophy
get
at
You're not
18 years
going
old?
through all
Jesus
this.
Christ.
I have seen so many things. I'm telling
Probably
you, I
at
have seen so many things.
Starbucks.
And as a
I will
female,
give you a
know,
candy
as a guy,
if
don't
you
want a
came
girl
to my
constantly
show.
down your throat, asking me where you are, who you with, and where you going.
Just
you know,
kick
that's why a
Amit's
side
girl.
person aside doesn't really ask you that. They just sleep with you one day and sleep with you another. Whenever you ask, you always have that side person to talk to rant, to vent.
Can I redirect us here a little
Have you
bit?
been the side person?
Of course, I've been the side and I have been the main. I have played all this type.
Let me
of parts.
let me see if I can redirect you because we actually got on this tangent because the ladies were asking us what is our ideal
Yeah.
mate, right? I mean, I'm just gonna read back because he came up with a lot of this stuff up here.
Relationship
Whenever he got on, it's
politics.
like, I kind of let you pick up half of it and I'll pick up the other half of it. The other half is this: is that I don't want a woman who is submissive. I want a woman who has genuine desire for me. So when you talk about OnlyFans, I want a woman who is going to give up OnlyFans without being asked.
What the hell
I am
means
the one that
philosophy
she
for
wants to say, "You know
kids?
what?
I don't
don't
know.
want there to be any fucking confusion whether or not I am into this guy.
If not
That is what I want
Starbucks,
from
then they
this guy.
hang
So
around
I am
community
going to take it upon
college
myself
and talk to the females that are
close
strip
my
clubs.
Instagram account, close my OnlyFans account because I'm a ride or die girl. This guy is the one for me. I don't want to have babies. I want to have his babies. This is the guy that I want, and I want her to be so fucking sure of.
I
that
don't
she's going to
understand
be
why
willing
these
she's
guys
going to
like
follow
I
me
noticed
across
this
the
a
ocean
lot,
to
like
my
the other
homeland and stay
episodes
with me
too,
because she
where
has that level of
they're
desire for
like
me.
so
It's not
offended
submissive. It's not a
that
slave
the
in
chick
slavery.
has
It
an
is a desire,
OnlyFans.
so much desire on the part of that
Like
woman for
I
that
just
guy
don't get that,
she
man.
wants to be with him no matter what, ride or die. She's going to break me out of prison.
Like they're look
Why
at
would
Amaranth for
we have asked this
example.
on Access Vegas
She's
several
pulling
times.
in
I think
$2
the
million a
question we need
month,
to be
man.
asking is this, especially
And
for
what
the
you're gonna
ladies on the
tell
panel
her
here,
saying,
is
"Oh,
if
stop
you
your
met the right
OnlyFans."
guy and you have OnlyFans or you
If
have an
she's got
Instagram account,
OnlyFans, she's
would
not
you
a
take it
keeper.
upon yourself? Would you have the insight to say, you know what? I
Huh?
don't want this guy to think that
I
I'm actually
wouldn't complain
advertising my
personally, man.
sexuality to anyone else. I'm going
They're
to take
pulling that
down
type
on
of
my
money
own
in.
without having to be asked. Would you do that?
Absolutely.
If it was if he was a ride or
Absolutely.
die girl,
Of
or
course,
you were the ride or die girl.
absolutely. I would give him my passwords. I would delete everything.
passwords,
And
just,
everything.
yeah, kill
I would
everything
just
off.
because I would want that security. I want to have that security with my partner. But
Would
you
you?
can't
Would
just,
you?
can't
So
just
what would you
Don't
sacrifice?
sympathize.
What would
Don't
you- and would it
sympathize with
occur to
thoughts
you
are great.
to want to delete your OnlyFans, delete your Instagram?
I'd be
delete
lucky to have a
you
woman,
don't
but
wanna
I don't
advertise
want
yourself, you
a
don't want there to be
female with an
And I
OnlyFans.
need that to. You need to be direct. You need to tell me face to face.
Oh,
Sit down
No,
with me.
you
and
do it
be-
yourself. You have that
To
much
going
desire
forward,
to
to
say, you
go.
know what? You say, he doesn't need to ask me. I don't need to know what the boundaries are. I already know what they
There's a
are, and I'm going to do
process.
it myself.
There's a process
No, there's
before
not.
that. There's a
would-
process.
Amaranth's
How are you gonna
husband
know?
put her in
No, no, no,
OnlyFans.
One thing I would say is this about it, is that I would argue that that might not be in some girls' consciousness at 18. So, although I agree with Rolo, him telling you directly about being able to do it with no problem and knowing that's exactly what you want to do because you're so in love with him, you have that true genuine desire, would be acceptable in my opinion. I think you would agree.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But see, the problem is you get into this quandary, I guess, because usually what they say is if the guy asked you,
Don't make
to-
me bring
to
up that
delete your account, would you
$500
do
with
it? And then
Vince
it was-
Manacor.
And then what they'll say is, well, if he was the right guy, he wouldn't be asking me. No, what I'm asking is if he's the ideal guy, would it be a concept in your head?
I don't know,
an
man.
insight to
Fuck,
say,
I'm so
I
bad.
better cut this shit out.
Yes.
I don't want this to be.
You ought to
taken the
be
wrong way.
taking a
I'm not
large
saying no,
percentage,
because the
if
fact
at
that, for
all.
example, OnlyFans. I don't have it. She does, right?
You have Instagram?
But
You have
Well,
Instagram?
imagine what the
But I'm just saying
husband
for example,
would
OnlyFans,
be
she is
getting
making
because
money
she
from
was
it.
saying
If she's talking to someone,
Amaranth was saying that guy and her are divorced, and she showed the bank account, and she had 24 mil
Yeah, but
in
that
the
dude is
account
like
that
Justin
she
Waller. He's
showed.
taking care of everything for
So
Okay, you
I
want to
don't
come in?
know
Go
by
ahead.
Texas law, but I know if it was
when
California,
because I have a boyfriend
that
now,
dude would be getting
and
12
I've
mil
been
easy.
talking to
That
him.
would
We
be
got
they would
together
just
recently.
split the money
So
because
it was
she
important to me to make sure that I
she's
was
the one
talking to
that's
only
making
him,
the
even
money,
when
not
we were just
him.
in the talking phase.
Even though he
So
sits
I
there
think this
going,
whole idea, like,
"Oh,
of
I'm the one that
advertising,
told you to stream
even just giving out
24/7."
like your socials and stuff, I do it in a
Yeah.
heartbeat because immediately I cut off every
There's
guy
always
when I'm
more
just
than
talking
two
to.
star.
So
Yeah,
he had
that's
my
true.
phone
We don't
passwords.
know
I said,
exactly
"Here, go
what
through my
the.
Snapchat, like,
We just
all
heard what
yours,"
the guy,
because
what she said, not
it's
the guy.
important to show that you're committed
Yet again, to
before
be
you even
fair,
start the relationship.
I'd be
That's
lucky to
important.
have
Let me
one
cut
with an
a really
OnlyFans,
good
so I
observation
don't
is
know.
the follow-up to
Perhaps
this
she
is
could
this,
help fund
is,
my
and you were talking
creative
about double
efforts.
standards just a minute ago, okay?
Well, that's the other
when
thing.
a man and a woman get together in
She'd
some kind of
probably
relationship,
go and buy
men,
DC
when they
Comics
are
or
trying to get
IDW
with a
out, and you
girl,
could
they're
buy
going
Heather
to sell
Antos
themselves.
and
Performance. We have
really
to be
go
the
to
ones that are gonna
town.
qualify. We have to look good. We have to have a good job. We have to be funny. I mean, you think about all the criteria that men have to actually get in a woman's pants, much less have a relationship with that woman. Men have to sell themselves on performance. Women, on the other hand, advertise themselves on the sexual marketplace. So whether that's Instagram or
Harley
it's
Quinn
OnlyFans
is
or
trying
however
to
you're
hold
doing
in
it,
her tummy.
women are the advertisers. Men are the ones who are the salesmen. We're the pitchmen. We're trying to get you to accept us as an intimate. Okay.
Yeah,
and
there's
then
incentive, yeah.
some of us have a much easier time of this. Other guys have to actually work their asses off to do that, right? So
For
when
the
you
record, I work my ass off.
yeah,
You do work your ass off, but there's he's trying to say you're too
So
good
when
looking.
when you get into a relationship, if it's closed on her end and closed on your end, what that means is that guy can no longer sell himself on the sexual marketplace. He can't pitch himself because he would be a cheater, right? If he's trying to go get with a waitress and you're in a relationship and he's flirting with her and trying to promote himself to get to sell his sexuality to that person.
I don't know. You can barely see
when
her.
women still advertise
We're stuck
themselves
looking
on
at those
OnlyFans, on Instagram,
4s and
you don't
5s,
have
and
a
we got
problem
her
with that. Or women
sitting
say,
over
"It's
here in the
my
corner.
only source of income," or whatever.
I mean,
That's
she's
the
got her
other
rack
part
out,
of
I
it.
guess.
We've attached that advertising to women's revenue streams right now, but it's okay for men, or for us to call men who would advertise themselves in a relationship, or pitch themselves in a relationship, we call them cheaters. But we don't say the same thing for women who are advertising themselves. And that's why I was saying advertise themselves once they are in that relationship. If it is closed on his end and closed on her end, it should
there used to be a show
say,
called
I'm gonna
Cheaters.
stop advertising my
This was
sexy
like
ass. I'm not
years
saying,
ago, and
delete
I
your
was
Instagram,
at
but take down the thong pictures, take
the
down the sexualized
Angelos
pictures, so
down
that
there,
is no there's no
and the camera
confusion.
crew
You guys know what a soft launch
and all
is?
that.
Somebody
That
knows what a
came
soft
in, and
launch
it was this
Soft
couple
launch is when
fighting in
women
the
have a new
Angelos
boyfriend,
on that
and they don't show the
show.
boyfriend immediately.
And I still
they'll
think
show,
about
like,
that when I go to
months
Angelos, that fucking Cheaters show came in there, and these
because women
people were
know that they will
fighting
lose
in the
market share
Angelos.
on their advertising if they show a guy, and suddenly that promise,
Mid
that
tiers,
fantasy of
yeah. I
availability
think
goes away.
Megan
The reason why
Fox
women get upset
has
about
kind
that
of a
is because
manly
they're still
face.
advertising from within
Yeah,
a
I used to love
relationship.
Cheaters.
The guy
Yeah,
has stopped.
I remember that
because he has
scene that
not
those
done
people were fighting in
Okay,
there. They
two
had the
things.
cameras and all that.
What
And
you
that
just said, the last part,
that
advertising in
guy,
different ways. In terms of advertising,
that
on
guy
OnlyFans,
ended up
yes,
getting
100%. If I was
stabbed.
dating a guy,
The
I would
host.
advertise it because that would affect my
I'm
business.
not sure if that's
but
why they
not
ended
every
it, but I
woman,
remember
most
that
women
guy
want
got
OnlyFans.
stabbed.
Are you saying that like they wouldn't
the
show
host
hands
guy,
because they still want to
one of the
monkey branch and
people
for men to
stabbed him.
pursue them?
Nothing to do with monkey action. What it has to do is the perception of your availability is limited. It is curtailed by having the boyfriend in the shots and the photos with you. For example, there was a series of photos of, and I don't know the name, sorry, but the professional soccer players with their wives and their girlfriends. And you look at their Instagram, they're on the same beach and the same
No dudes.
vacation.
No dudes.
No nudes, no nothing.
No
and you go and you
nudes
look
at
at
all.
their girlfriends or their wives' Instagram, And same beach, just the girl that's all alone sitting in the surf and looking sexy. If you look at like, so what is it, Ayesha Curry and Stephen Curry, like she still wants to, even after she's with Stephen Curry for
Steph.
sake.
She's with
Stephen
He
Curry.
signed a deal for $500
Yeah,
million.
and she's still
Oh,
she's
really?
on Red
That
Table
was
Talk,
fake?
wanting to still say, hey, I want to be on Instagram. I still want to
I
advertise.
totally forgot that
Still
show
want
existed till he
other
was
men to
talking
find
about
me
Cheetos and
sex.
made me think of
That's
that.
what I mean by advertising. It's not necessarily like the OnlyFans thing. Yeah, you're
Megan
advertising
Docs is
yourself
good,
sexually when you
is
do that, it's
good,
not
but
just that, and
far
it's not
from
just,
good.
It's not just like the soft launch. It is
Oh,
the
I
fact
thought
that
that
she's
shit
still
was
there
real.
advertising while you would have a conniption fit if the guy was out there flirting with the waitress because he's following his
Yeah, I
sexual
was just
imperatives while
sitting in
he
the
has to
parking
curtail
lot
his, and you're
eating, and
not.
I think I've
I
said
see
this
that
before.
guy
That's
coming
not a
in
double
there and he's
standard.
like,
I don't know what it is.
"Hi, I'm
Like
Joey from
anything, like, it's
Cheaters.
fine if
This
you want
guy
to do
says you're
OnlyFans
cheating on
because you
him
want
and
to
all
do anything, that's
this."
fine.
And
But then if you do have that, you cannot come then and say,
I don't know. I don't know
want
if
to find
everything
my
was
perfect
fake because
man.
I saw those people fighting.
I've
It
never had
didn't seem
OnlyFans. I've never
fake.
started an OnlyFans. I never will have an OnlyFans.
Everything was
because
fake.
like one of my goals in life that I knew that I was going to want
Gosh,
to have,
that
whether
was
that
like
be
fuck.
like now, which it has happened for me
I
now.
think that
I'm
was
not
like
faking, it
early
happened.
2000 maybe.
And I don't have an OnlyFans, so that's proof that it can happen. That it happened because of that, right? That I have like the perfect man that like I think that I would want to have is sitting right next to me. So that is proof that for that. But I always knew that I would want that one day, right? Like I would want to be married to the perfect man of like my dreams per se that I would want to be with, that I would want to raise my kids with me. So I would never have that because I know that a man that I dream to have would not want a woman that is doing that. So like that's kind of a little take on that. And there's nothing, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But you can't have them both. It's just one of those things you can't have it both ways. Like you pick and choose. If you'd rather have OnlyFans and make all this money on OnlyFans, which girls do, there's girls that make so much money to do it. So if you want to do that and have that, you can have that and do it. But just know it's going to be a lot harder, and you probably aren't going to be able to have this as well.
So I had a question for you earlier, and I totally forgot about it till right now. You said you mentioned as OnlyFans. You mentioned OnlyFans as a career path. You said career path, and you talked about a man taking away your career path. I'm asking.
Oh yeah,
if you had
Jerry
gotten on the
Springer,
cover
man.
of,
I mean,
if
that
you had
show
gotten
was
on the cover of
insane.
FHM, if you had gotten on something else that didn't, where you could make a salary over.
I can't believe that guy
200,000,
died.
500,000 a year, and you didn't have to have OnlyFans. Would you still do OnlyFans?
Yeah, I mean, I was already making a decent salary just off TikTok sponsorships, but OnlyFans is an insane amount of money.
So you would still do OnlyFans because of the money. What I'm saying is that like you got Giselle Munchin type money, you'd still want to do OnlyFans?
Not necessarily. Like, I don't think I could be bought. Like, for instance, like if someone offered me like 100 mil for my virginity, I wouldn't do it.
Right. No,
so money isn't the incentive.
Yeah,
for
I
me.
would probably do it for 100 mil. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, can I ask the guys a question? Like, I mean, I know you guys.
The fuck is she talking about? She ain't no
No,
virgin.
what I'm saying is that you called it a career path. Does that make sense? Like being in construction is a career path.
She
Laying
got
bricks is not a
paid
career
less
path.
than 1,000 to stay at a hotel and some
We're not
TV show
worried about the
swag
TikTok part, right? The
for
guy you're
being
gonna marry
there.
is not super worried about the TikTok part. It's this one part that they're going to have a little bit more concern about. Do you understand how? My only question is, I consider media maybe a career path, but OnlyFans is not necessarily a career path. Does that make sense? That's what I was confused when you were saying before. A man would want to take me away from my career path. And I think
How about
because it happens to be very lucrative for you.
what's his
I don't
face
think-
saying
I think
you're not the father
maybe
and
I'm
all
wrong,
that.
But what I felt like is if you were more respected as a traditional model,
Mike, a
I
little
don't think you
closer,
do
a
all
little
that.
closer to the mic.
Sorry, if you were more respected as a traditional model, you might not want to do OnlyFans. That's the only thing I'm asking.
OnlyFans
Quick
earns
response.
a lot more. I was more so saying that because he was saying if he met a girl who's on OnlyFans, he'd want to transfer her into his mission, his framework.
Sure.
So I was asking.
You know
is it
that
transferring because it's specifically OnlyFans.
OnlyFans has a
So
TV
the three of
channel.
us are in some way or another.
I saw that
performance
the
coaches,
other
and
day
it doesn't really
on
look good for us to be dating girls who are doing things. I could
on
see if a girl
on
had, like,
Direct
old
TV,
photos from that were bikini shots.
and I
or
put it
whatever,
on
maybe,
there,
but like anything beyond
and
that.
it
if
was
we're
it
doing
was
stuff
just
with
some
dildos,
fucking
girl
I don't know
bullshit,
who
then it's gonna
that
be a little
girl
bit harder
was. It
for
was
us to
some
explain as male improvement coaches why our
some
girlfriends are
girl
doing this. Does that
doing
make
a
sense?
a thing
That's
where
the
the
reason.
guy
So from a
she
business
was
standpoint.
like on skis on the water.
Justin, I
and
know
the
you
guy was
wanted to
pulling
come
her
in,
on the
and then
boat.
after Justin goes, guys, give me a little.
That's all it
space
was.
to get through some
I'm
of the
just
super chats
watching
to
this,
hear
and I
about that,
came.
get a
I
quick
turned it up because it got boring.
I think you
And then when
nailed
I
it.
came
I
back,
have
it
a
was
lot
the
more to
same
say.
gal, and she was just on the other
I
side of the
wouldn't
lake
let
coming
it stop
back,
me,
and
but I
she's
would
like,
shut it down.
"Okay, now
that's
we're
what
going
the
back," and
OnlyFans
I'm like,
is OnlyFans because it's a
"What kind of show is this?"
You had something quick. Go ahead.
I actually felt bad for her. She wasn't very bright, not being mean. I think she got used. I have no reason to believe her boyfriend put them up to
This is
it.
why I use the
Quick.
word philosophy.
Do you have a quick response to her? Or she said.
Maybe
OnlyFans
because
is
she acts,
the
she
downfall of the
fronts
West?
and
Is that what
does
it
it
is?
or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
that-
For lack of
she's
better
affirming
words,
my point.
I said it's perpetuating the hedonism that's destroying the country, and it's really giving people fucked up.
Is that you,
fucked
Andrew?
up.
Is Andrew here? Andrew just showed up. He's the mystery guest. It wasn't me
There he
after
is.
all. Come on in.
It's really ruining the way that people perceive relationships and shit.
Again, this is why I delineated between preference and philosophy, because usually people who believe that also believe that framework.
One question. You said
Framework?
We're going to get to the super
What are
chat
we, in
super chat. Let
IT?
me get through all these. You wouldn't sell
She and
your
her
kid
boyfriend split the money. It wasn't a lot from what I recall.
Bro,
I
I would
wouldn't.
do some.
You sell your pics
I'm not
on
gonna lie.
OnlyFans. Yeah,
Yeah,
you would.
you sell your
Yeah,
pictures.
I
because
would
that's
do
still
some-
within my comfort zone. You don't know the
I might
content I do on
do it.
OnlyFans.
I might go with a dude for 100.
I can make a
I'm
lot
just
more on
saying.
OnlyFans
You
if I
just
do
basically
different
just
types of
jump to a
content.
You know how many?
Of
You know, I could
her?
like you could
Yes,
cure
so it's
malaria in
basically
Africa for
just-
$100 million.
Judge a
Bro.
book by its cover.
That's
When
a
you literally
normalized
just said you
sex,
don't
you
do that.
normalize sex. That's how it is.
Based
Earlier on in
what
this
you've been
podcast, you
saying,
literally
I
just said you don't
doubt
do that.
you
Get every
wouldn't
dog
sell
fixed
your
in the
kid.
United States.
I'm saying what I
One
do
at
on
a time, one
OnlyFans.
at a
No,
time, please.
I'm saying what I do with my
Is
OnlyFans
OnlyFans a
comfort level. I
career?
know
How
much
do
I
you
can make
move
on
up
day one.
on
I
your
just take that risk and
resume?
make
A
$1, I
higher
can make $1
tier?
million this month, right? So it's within my comfort zone.
Oh,
So I could 10x my profit if
You
I
know why
went
she
beyond
wouldn't?
my
You know why
comfort
she
zone on
wouldn't do that?
OnlyFans, but I
Because
don't.
the guy who would pay $100 million for a fucking for your virginity is
ugly.
not the guy you want to be fucking
No,
in
he's
the
gonna be
first
weird as shit
place.
for sure.
Wait,
For sure. Hey,
Okay,
yeah.
hold on.
Shout out to Riyadh.
Okay.
Sorry.
Two questions for you guys. So both of you do OnlyFans. Just how much you guys make on OnlyFans per month? Avery,
Can't say.
6 figures, 5 figures.
Can you say what percentage of
Give us a
earners you're
range.
in?
That's the same thing.
Yeah, well, no, I mean,
Give us a range. 5 figures, 6 figures, 50K a
What do you
month,
make a
20K a month.
I don't disclose, but I
You
do
pay
well.
any dollars in the highest tax bracket of like what 36%?
career, yeah.
I pay a lot of taxes.
Wait,
Yeah.
yeah, what? 100 mil? You realize like that is set up your grandchildren,
That's
like
what I'm saying.
that is just you don't have to work another day in your fucking life.
I've never
100 mil.
considered that. Wow, I could retire off
No,
100
that,
mil,
that's not
Brian.
what you, that's
Like,
not what you
that's a
con-
lot
that's
of
not what you
fucking- I'm
consider.
just saying.
Consider the social changes you could make with $100 million. That's what I'm saying.
Let's
Like,
say he's a premature.
Yeah, tell that to
ejaculator.
George
That's a full-time
Soros.
argument, but
Like he's a premature ejaculator. Does that change anything? Like so, it's quick, you know.
I don't
No.
I would argue that that's not even maybe the question to ask. The question to ask
This shit is
how
funny,
much
man.
you guys are making on OnlyFans. Is it worth giving up a family and love? Because any man that is worth his fucking salt that you would even be attracted to wouldn't put up with it. I can tell you right now. And you, my dear, are a depreciating asset. So there, every day that goes by, you're going to be less and less beautiful. And at some point, there's going to be a history of you doing that. As beautiful as you are, you're stunning. You're a pretty girl. But no
Someone
man
pays
that
to
is gonna be
see
in your league is
Harley's
gonna put up with it.
fupa.
And so the question is, if you were truly in love and you had true desire for a man that would
Well,
with you and tell you how
She
it was
was
gonna be,
saying
would you
that
or would
she
you
was
not give up
trying
your
to do a
OnlyFans?
music career or something.
no, I wouldn't. Same way if I wanted to really
Then
expand
you
my
did-
dating
then you
pool,
do
I
not
happened. I
genuinely
guess she
desire
didn't
that
want to
man.
fuck the
Oh.
producer.
You would not be in love with
They
that man.
closed the
Because
record
if you were in
deal.
love with that man, you would.
And then
you
she
would
just
shut it
went
down.
and made
that
an
day will come for
OnlyFans,
you
she
probably
said.
way
again,
down
why
the
don't I
road.
put on a hit job? Because then I can find a man who actually reciprocates. Because most
A
of the
hit
men look
job?
at their gaze when other women
Any man that
walk
asks you to do it
by.
and you say no to, you're going to look at as a pussy. You will not respect him. And you will
Dude,
not
she
love
wouldn't
him.
last a
Any
day
man
in
that
the
you look
Middle
up to
East.
and respect, you would quit doing it for. And that day might not
She'd
be
be
today, but it
stoned
will come.
instantly.
Good luck.
If he reciprocates, if he quits occasioning the strip club, if he quits watching porn, if
sure.
he also takes that initiative,
Oh,
I meet
what
the
a
love of my
what a
life,
control
sure.
freak this one is.
All right, let me get.
It's
Let me.
fe-
so
female
it's basically
delusional
an
guy.
If he
act-
stops
Meanwhile, there's
breathing,
10,
if he
20
stops
years of
walking,
digital
if
to
he
be that
stops
dude.
talking.
He's got to be that dude
Of
fully. He's got to be
course.
able to look you
Just
in the eye
like
and
as
tell
I
you shut
said,
that shit
men
down
are
and mean
all
it.
performances.
Yeah.
He has to show
That's
that
it.
he, exactly.
Enough to let go. And that's what I appreciate about what you said earlier. The first time I agreed with you was a little bit earlier when you were like, yes, if I knew that I could be inside that frame. And that's what I was saying about women hold on until they know they're safe. I can respect a woman that'll hold on until she knows. I don't have a problem with the making money thing. Even the OnlyFans thing doesn't really bother me
Yeah,
that much. I get it. It's making money
Eric,
and it's a really good
the
business.
girl on
But
Doctor
if he
Who.
comes along,
I forget her
hard for me
name.
to believe that any woman at this table would not let go of OnlyFans.
She was in porn. That
Because
the
once
chick
it's
on
there,
Doctor
It does
Who.
take a certain amount of process.
It
does
takes
take
that. It takes
time,
that man.
Of course.
And
And
that's
I've been meaning to
that's why
do a
I believe in
review of
those
that
women. You
show
don't build
too. She
strong
had
men
I
despite
I
women.
watched
You build
that
strong
show
men.
she had where
Hey, let me say something. The two
she
of you
was
are going to
basically
meet men.
trying to be.
And
She was
initially, you're
supposed to
going
be
to be
like
very
a
happy. But the
A
problem
British
is there's
Britney
something,
Spears or
there's
something.
a reason why they picked you and not someone else who isn't doing. I hate to say it's because sound very mean.
I don't know what
but
that
you can ask
ending was.
yourself,
That ending was
why
kind of
did
weird.
this
but-
guy pick me and not someone who isn't doing OnlyFans? There is going to be a voice in the back of your head. It's like, why did this person pick me? And when they could have had something with less drama and less exposure, and that voice is going to be in your head, and then you're going to see what that thing is. That you're going to see what that chink in the armor is. Maybe he's a simp, or maybe he does not know how to define boundaries, or maybe he keeps getting out of relationships because he's outrageously insecure, or whatever. The problem is, it's not that you won't find a man. Both of you will definitely find men. It's just the problem is when you do, you're not going to be wholeheartedly willing to change my religion and crawl over broken glass, like the way Rolo describes with his wife.
Genuine desire.
Genuine desire. You aren't going to have that genuine desire. And 78% of divorces in the United States are initiated by women. Do you understand?
Word. I got to jump in. Just
Yeah,
because we do have to get some
the
chat.
blonde, the
Okay,
blonde
so
that
we
was with
Derek Man X
the
here.
10th
Oh, I
Doctor,
think this one already came in. Glasses,
David
stop
Tennant.
talking like you know men. Real men don't care how you feel or
That-
how you
what's
think.
her
It's not
face?
real. We
She
want
was a,
what we want. Boom.
She was a
Okay,
porn
Derek Man
star
X, I
back
think
in the
that's
day or
Travis.
whatever.
Thank you, Travis. We hold on.
Rose?
Wait
I
until
think it
that
was
one
Rose was her name.
disappears. We have Spencer Park who donated $100. Thank you so much, man. I'm going to start preemptively reading this after that one comes through. Mia look alike, should go to law school and would be a 1% lawyer, but the world isn't logical. Men and women are held to different standards. What makes a woman valuable is different from men. I can see how men would be intimidated by the way you
Did Nebula work in porn?
They're saying I'm a very masculine woman.
I don't know if she the
have any
redhead.
response?
I don't know if she
masculine.
did.
I
I
think
just
maybe
know.
headstrong is
Do you have a
better
response to Spencer Park?
No,
It's
I
the
mean, we've
one with
already-
David Tennant.
We've been building
That
up the premise
that
that men and women
blonde.
are different. I don't think we're arguing that
Her
they're
name's
the
Rose
same.
on there, from
I was
what I
saying, where are
remember.
those differences relevant in terms
Rose
of
Tyler.
body count? When again, we've proven that double virginity bodes the best marriages. That was my point.
That's such an outlier statistic, though,
Yeah.
right?
It's-
Yeah.
No,
Right? Don't
it's
you
an
think?
outlier statistic because there's
Double
so few
virginity
double
is the
virgin
best
marriages.
marriage.
And also, the double virgin marriages tend to be like Amish people. It tends to be people in like
Amish
extremely
people.
austere relationship. Does that make sense? Most men and women do not get together in the United States as virgins. When it happens, there tends to be.
I see those
ulterior reasons.
Amish
So it's really
chicks
hard to say, is this a if this is an
going to
outlier or not
the
a trend. It's not a trend.
laundromat
What
thing.
the trend, what you can see as a trend is if you look over
Billy
thousands and thousands
Piper.
of people, is
I
men
thought that
tend
right
to
off the bat.
not
I
be
don't know
super affected by their body
Doctor
count as far
Who,
as the
like I
ability to stay
said,
in
but
a
I know
marriage, and
about
women tend to
her.
be
I
more
didn't know
affected by
that though.
For
She is
men, it
good
tends to be
looking.
the
Yeah,
options.
her.
Like for instance, if you happen to live next door,
Yeah,
to the
she's
Playboy
got
Mansion,
this
you're more
other
likely to
show.
stray.
It's on
For women,
the
it's previous body,
HBO.
it's previous partners that cause them to be more likely to cheat.
The
And that's
streaming
what men are
thing where
afraid of. On
she's
top of the fact that they have this innate evolutionary
it's like
necessity
a
to be with a woman
it's like
who
a
has low eye
British
count.
Brit-
So there's
Britney
a
Spears.
cognitive
Like
reason,
they're
and
making
then
fun of
also a
Britney
subconscious
Spears. The
reason,
whole
and
show is
both of
that
them are backed by science.
she's
That's the
Britney
problem. Is it a
Spears,
double
and then they
standard?
go
Fuck
through
yes, it's a
her
double standard. Nobody's arguing that it
breakdown
isn't.
and shaving
But
her
your
head
question though, is
and
it
fighting
moral? I mean, that's
people
not
and
something. I mean, it's not
fighting with
moral that I can
the
bench press
Is it
more than
fair?
you.
No,
Is it
it's
what do you
fair?
not.
No,
call
it's
it?
not. It's just the way it is. The
The
other thing is, and I'm not
parents and then her
again. This is gonna sound like
husbands
I'm
and all
making an
that.
excuse. The average man, like I said before, has 17 times as much testosterone going through him than a woman does. Imagine the horniest you've ever been in your entire life. Multiply that by 17, and that's Tuesday for us. And that's the reason. Again, it's not. I'm not trying to say to make it an excuse, but now you see this irrational level of horniness, and then you realize that testosterone not only regulates your libido, but your assertiveness, your aggressiveness, your necessity to solve problems, your also your necessity to save your fellow man, right? Your
I've been meaning to do a
throats,
review
and then
about that.
slit
I
throats
forgot
and
I
whole
even
babies.
watched that
All
till you
those
started
things come
saying
from the
this stuff.
same,
I
same
forgot
hormone
about that
causes us
show.
to be outrageously horny compared to women.
Are we?
I think it's called
Eric
What's
T, thank you for the
Susie
100.
Doing
Would any
Now or
girl stay the
something.
54-year-old who throws charity events?
She looks
join?
good on there too, man.
I don't throw charity events. I know what you're coming at.
Show of hands. Who would date a 54-year-old man? Anybody? Okay. All right.
Got one.
Yes. Sweet. All right. We
Wait,
got.
I'm just more
Yo,
of a personality.
Eric,
though.
pull-
Really, like Rolo, you're talking 54, right? 55. This is stunning, man, right here. Don't you like? What are you talking about?
Yo,
The older
Eric,
you
pull,
get, the
pull
more
up the
being in
Twitch.
shape is a flex.
Yo, guys, go to twitch.tv/whatever mods. If you could spam it in the chat, twitch.tv/whatever. Drop us a Prime and a follow if you have one. Link your Amazon Prime to Twitch. You can, every single month, you can do a Prime sub. It's a quick, free, easy way to support the show every single month. Yo, shout out to Orange Runner for the Prime. Angelo, thank you for the Prime. Turbulence, thank you for the Prime. WizPiz, thank you for the Prime. Strictly Sloth, thank you for the Prime. Tispree, thank you for the follow. Martin, thank you for the follow. Bobby Gums, thank you for the follow. Hex Defy, thank you for the follow. Hess It Up, thank you for the prime. Fat Queef Bro, thank you for the follow. Great name there, buddy.
You get
Tsunami
name of the
Surprise.
show, bro.
And yeah, thank you guys so much. Twitch.tv/whatever. Go over there, drop some follow on the prime sub. And then we have some super chats here we got to get caught up on. We got that one here. Avery, go for it.
Women also need to understand that the sexual organ of a woman does change with use. It doesn't feel as good, and you never know who's.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to press that. My bad.
Actually,
You never know whose child it is. A man's unit doesn't change, and unless a woman sleeps with multiple dudes, men know it is our child.
American Virus is freedom. Thank you for the 100. I don't know if that's true. The first part.
Which what he means is not by the sexual organ getting bigger. He means by sexual organ literally changes when a zygote is formed inside of a cervix, inside of the uterus. Sorry, that's what he means by it changes.
Just say roasties, dude. Just say roasties.
Yeah,
That's all you want to say.
This argument that
Come and
women
say
become
roasties.
looser when they have more sex, there's actually not.
But he
a
said
lot
it
of
doesn't
science.
feel as good, isn't that? I thought he was.
I beg to differ.
Yeah, I thought he sexual organ change. Yeah, maybe that's
Hence
also, it's harder
a
for a woman to have an orgasm if she's had multiple.
recent
partners. I've
nude
seen
I
some
was
studies on that. I'm
sent
not
to
exactly
me.
sure.
All right, we have Bebby Demon 69. Thank you for the 100, man. Appreciate it. What male traits based on Darwin's natural selection could be most desirable to women in choosing a mate? Who's this for? Is this the panel?
I mean, Darwin's my
What
best
male
friend.
traits based on Darwin's natural selection?
You know what I'm talking about, don't you, man?
These are going to be things that show competency
Physicality.
and things that show basically women during different periods of time would
Oh, that
choose the
might
man who
end
looked like he
soon.
was most likely, most capable of committing massive amounts of violence on her behalf.
the hell was
to protect
Risey
her and her
tonight?
children. When you look at it from that standpoint, then it makes sense why she fucks Brock the bartender, who's 6'3" or the fucking quarterback of the football team. That's the reason why. It's not like these things didn't just happen. Like I said before, my number one frustration is that we have these generic conversations when Dr. David Buss has written 5 books on this stuff. When Gad Saad has written books on this stuff, when Stephen Stewart Williams, Cindy Meston, Lita Cosmides, who's, by the way, PhD right here at UC Santa Barbara, one of the leading evolutionary psychologists on the planet, and we still listen to fucking Dr. Phil and we read books like The 5 Love Languages and The Secret. The answers are there. Read the fucking answers. The real reason why me and Rollo work together is because he's the only man on the planet that I know who reads as much on evolutionary psychology as I do. The answers are there. They've been there since the 1970s. And for some reason, we choose to not read them. And we still believe things like beauty is subjective. It is not subjective. These things have been answered. They've been answered since 1975.
Matthew Self, thank you for the 100. Avery, go ahead.
Woman in the glasses is a smart
Okay.
woman. I appreciate her fighting back on topics. I just feel like she's just arguing to argue to prove her intelligence. She doesn't even take it in the opposite side of the argument. She just wants to argue to argue.
You know who I thought that girl with the
That's not
glasses
true.
was at the beginning?
I stand for everything I argue. Maybe I'm not doing a good enough.
I thought it
job
was
explaining
that girl
Are
from
those
the
prescription,
Darman
by the way?
show,
Right now.
Are those prescription glasses or?
Yeah, these are prescription.
which would have been better actually. Now that I think
lenses.
about it,
Do you want to pop them off? I mean, you don't need them, right?
It's all right. She can do it.
What,
Please,
she's
right?
giving me like the death stare over that
That's
request. Okay.
fine. Let her
All right.
do it. No.
Speedy the Unsilent,
That's
thanks for
your
the
look. Go
100.
ahead.
Avery, go ahead.
As a high value man who is also tall with a low body count, I would only marry a woman with a low body count.
Word. Thank you, man. Speedy.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
preference.
Yes, thank you for the super chat, man. Really appreciate it. We have Ivan Jr. Thank you for the 100, man. Sorry, Brian. There's a question to the panel. Have women lost trust to depend on men to the point they sell themselves on social media? Most relationships both have to work. There are
is that the
men
one that's on the Darman, Matt?
judging us and expectations are killing.
Her
the
glasses are like
interaction.
bigger than her
Thank you, Ivan.
fucking
Appreciate
head,
it.
though. I hate that shit.
Is there a question here? Have women lost trust to depend on men?
Like
based on
Manticore
themselves?
said, blah blah
Me?
blah.
Is this rhetorical question?
I talked to
It's not
Risey
because of that.
today.
It's just
He
not-
wasn't
it's
in
just
good shape. Oh,
opportunism is what
really?
It is. It's pretty much every girl that I talk to on, well, not every panel, but pretty much every girl.
Sniper
I have
was been on
encountered
here?
when it comes to wanting to get with a guy.
Yeah, she does
don't
look
wanna
like her.
get
That's what I
pregnant
thought it
because
was.
They don't want to.
And I realized it was the Khalifa or whatever.
Over the course of 2 generations, to be distrustful of men, to say that they're never going to be able to be the ones who are going to be able to take care of me. When he comes up here and he says, "I'm going to be the one who's going to take care of you. I'm going to take you to the restaurant. I'm going to pay for it. I am going to basically take care of your long-term
No, on
security."
Darman.
To
Okay.
hear that
yeah.
is shocking today, right? Because women have this preconception that men are either they're borderline abusers, or they are incompetent, like buffoons, like Homer Simpson or Dr. Huxtable or whatever, sitcom dad that we want to throw out there, or they're incompetent. They don't know how to drive a stick shift. They don't know how to change a tire. They don't know how to tie a
Well,
tie.
I'd love
And so
Sniper
if
Wolf
those are
on
your
here. The
three
chicks would be fawning
options,
over her
and that's what you
as a
think of
hero.
as a masculine model or an ideal, or that's your archetype in your head. Of course, you're going to want to go to college, go get your career, get your money on point, become the man that you wanted to marry, because you can't trust no man to do what he just said, which is, I'm going to take care of business for you. And yes, I would absolutely agree with that assessment, because women are fearful that they'll never find a guy. And when we talk about like submission which I think is the wrong world, I think we need to talk about deference to men's authority. But I think that it's more about the fact that women need long-term security longer than they have the ability to consolidate on that. So if you've got 18 to 28 years
Yeah,
old,
imagine
where you're in
having
your peak
ammo
sexual
on
market
here and
value
cute
years,
cute
that's
bot,
10 years in a
all of
lifespan
those
that might be what
Twitch
you need.
bitches. That would be
So,
hilarious
and
to see
you're going to
them
need
on here.
long-term security far longer in your life than you are going to
They'd be
women.
like,
And that's
"Why do
why
you
we sell
hate
women on this
OnlyFans? You're the
independent. I'm
OnlyFans
a strong,
hater."
independent woman. From what? Independent of men. That's where that
I
comes
found
from.
a
1970s
doctor.
feminism is where that's from.
I found a
Yeah,
Doctor Who
if your
porn,
argument is that
but
men
it
have
is
fallen
not
short
Billy
because men
Piper,
are not
and I
acting
don't care.
in a masculine
I
chivalrous
found
way,
a
we
Doctor
agree
Who
with you.
porn.
We do
What?
not disagree with that at all.
I
Men have
don't
certainly
expect
fallen
a
short. That's the reason
woman
why the
to
three of
drive
us are
stick
coaches.
shift
That's
or
we
to
agree
change
with
a
you completely.
tire, to be fair.
And
They
in
probably
that
couldn't do it.
happening, it's even worse in that general society is telling them to clearly do the opposite of what Justin Waller is saying. Like literally, not only are we not being coached to be masculine, we're being coached to not be masculine. And thirdly, we're being taught that it's borderline illegal for us to act in a masculine way. There is, Andrew Tate said it the best. There's just masculinity. There's no such thing as toxic masculinity. Yeah. Toxic people are toxic. Toxic people can be feminine or masculine. Toxicity is toxic. Masculinity, again, when you want someone to save you from a burning building, you want a fucking ton of masculinity. It's not toxic then. So that's the issue. It's like, if you think things are bad, you're correct. They are bad. If you think men have fallen short, correct. They have fallen short. If you think 99% of men are simps, which it's kind of the ones on OnlyFans who are subscribed to you guys, you're correct. We agree with you on that. Men need to step up as well. And that's created the society. That's why these shows are becoming, these panel shows like this are becoming so outrageously fucking popular, because we're all seeing this happen at the same time. By the way, I want to say one other thing. I don't think the hedonism is the decay of Western society. I think it's a denial of science. I think that's actually the decay of Western society. Sorry to go off on that topic.
All right, one thing. So you brought up hoe phases, sort of, kind of.
I did.
I think Car Count was saying
So
most women
around
can't
the
do
table on
it,
this.
but it
Who
isn't
here has
something
at
that
any
is
point
important
in
to me
time
at all.
Had a hoe phase.
Yeah, I have.
Had a hoe phase.
Are you
I've had a
still
hoe phase.
presently in it?
I'm not presently in it.
I assume not, given your assertion that
She's on
Your version.
OnlyFans, of course.
Yeah, if you
is.
consider-
She's monetizing.
She kissed like two dudes on a date. She didn't have a hoe face.
hoe phase. Have you current hoe phase? In the hoe
And
phase
it
right now?
was to like lead me into something like that. It wasn't because I chose. It was because
What do you mean you didn't choose?
I mean, I did choose, but it was also a factor in of what happened before it. It was actually rage and anger and revenge that fueled me to push me to be this hoe phase, because I felt like I was getting back at the guy at that time of during my first hoe phase.
Wait, so
But then that's typically why a lot of
You're
people
18. How
get-
many hoe phases do you think you're going to have?
Not very many on this,
Baker's dozen.
but it just happens to a lot of people where they invest so much into a relationship that either the guy leaves or the girl leaves, and then the one side will just be left broken, and obviously that side that is broken is filled with rage to do better. And or there's also another scenario if it was a female. You know, there's only two sides.
The
that can
only
be
way to
either
stop women from
super
dating
told me to get
only
revenge,
the
or
elite
you
men
can
and
work on
shitting on
yourself,
average
sit down and really
guys
think like,
is
is
this
it really
average
possible
guys
for
start
me to just,
rejecting women when
you know,
they
get
get
back at
old
them, or just
and
feel
want to
like
finally
I just
settle
want
down
That
like
sounds
a
like the Joker
boycott.
story arc.
So yeah,
Okay, hold on. I want everyone to have a chance to answer this question.
I'm never gonna pay for
You
OnlyFans.
had a
One
hoe
day
phase, no
I
phase,
sent a
zero hoe
super
phase,
chat
partial
and
hoe
I
phase.
still feel dirty.
Hold
Who
on.
did you send the super chat to?
Surfer 805 donated $200.
RIP's in the chat.
Ryan is the new Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
Love it. Also,
I just wish we had
Russian
Well
guys,
Hung on here to
if you
harass
tell your
them.
booty hole on camera to go like the destroyer for
I wanted him to ask Khalifa if she'd date a Nazi or whatever and see what she says.
People full of shit. Also, bro, UCSB alum.
Men probably
Let's go.
don't
So
do that
Surfer
because they're
805,
desperate
thank you for
too.
the big
LOL.
$200 soup donation.
No.
Really appreciate it. You wouldn't, not 100 mil? 100 mil?
I'm
Gordon.
good, bro. Thanks.
That's a tough one.
I'm living
Brian,
the
what do you
life.
think? What do you think, Brian?
I have more respect for myself than that.
No STDs, right? Is the scenario like you?
Yeah, I
an
guess
STD?
if we know STDs.
No STDs? 100 mil? Bro, I don't have to work another day in my fucking
It's
life.
not that, bro.
like-
I'd be like you could get legislation passed for 100 million. Like you could change the world with 100
So,
million.
so you'd be gay for pay as well.
Hell
You,
no.
you don't need
$20
$100
is
mil.
$20.
Hell, all you gotta do
That's
is
gross.
get
I would never do that. That's
500,000.
gross. You could change
Just
the world,
buy
though.
cheap
You could
land
change
in
the world,
Texas,
You
put
could
a
change
bunch
the
of
world. You could change the
cabins,
world.
rent those out for
So, okay, so
$1,500 to $2,000 a month. You're
Not
set for
really, I
life.
guess a partial. one.
Partial hoe phase.
Yeah.
What's a partial hoe phase?
I just consider
It's
that
not
like
having a
a
big amount of money. It's
What-
money coming
When
in.
you say a bunch of
That's
guys, how
what
many
you
are we
need.
talking?
not a lot, like 4.
True, I am in that
I don't know, but, like,
category,
not, like,
Matt
talking-
G.
I don't know, like
Sex?
no.
No.
That's why I
Just
mean
like
partial.
dating them.
Yeah, like
Okay.
going out and just I don't know. It wasn't really a hoe phase. I just got out of a breakup and was just dating.
So
Oh.
let me clarify it. So a hoe phase is what? Are we sleeping with them? Or are
I'll
we
tell you. I'll
talking?
let her finish. I'll
Okay.
I'll clarify. Go ahead.
First off, I just wanted
Closer
to
to the
say,
mic.
I
Scoot in.
think people should take more accountability. But me personally, I have not had a whole phase.
Malia is
Counted
showing some
for it,
nip.
Where I dated 2 guys at once, which is honestly a fucking joke.
Double shifting.
But
Okay.
Aspen.
No, that long relationship that I was in, I was committed to him, and
Mm.
so I think that maybe if I wouldn't have had that, my story would be a little bit different. But no, I have not.
Kylie.
No, I've never had a hoe phase.
You're not in it. You're not in it right now.
Kind of related to the hoe phase.
No,
thing.
let me.
Yeah, sorry, go
Let me.
ahead.
Let me say, just to clarify your question. I hate that we call it the hoe phase. It was my.
I know that
second,
guy's a
but
singer or
all
something,
party
but
years is what I called
I
it.
thought he was a
It's not
Duck
because you're
Dynasty guy at
breaking from a
first.
Raging slut, during those 18 to 28 years old. But that is when you are at the peak of your sexual marketability. So for you to consolidate on a guy who's going to be a good long-term prospect for you, usually that happens right around 22, 23, 24 years old when you're at the peak of your sexual.
The word
marketability,
relationship
peak age of
is the
sexual
same
life.
as free
So
meth to a
that's
drug
why the
addict.
epiphany phase.
They get so excited just saying it.
31 years old. It's not that women are going out and becoming actual hoes. It's just that is the span.
Tell you, man, the gym's the place to be to get laid.
Find the guy.
You don't
So
have
you
on
might
any
be
of this
one or
horse
two
shit.
guys, but you're doing more dating during that period of your life than you will be for the rest of your life because
Everybody's working out
on the
their
sexual marketplace, not before,
endorphins.
but later on in
Everybody's
life, so you've got
taking
a span of 10 years
testosterone,
where
total
you're
T and
having
shit in there and
where
getting
you're out there, where you're going to clubs,
fucking
you're having a good time,
aroused
you're
and
meeting
shit,
regular
man. And
college
fucking
girls.
women are taking that
Whether or not you're a raging slut
oh, what
or
is that
you're not,
shit
it's kind of
called?
immaterial. That's why I hate calling it the hoe phase. I rather call it the party years because
That
that's
hormone thing. I can't remember what the fuck that thing is that they take.
Let me
That
clarify then. No, I did not go through a phase.
hormone
That
regenerator
phase.
thing or
I
whatever.
went through a party
It's because
phase.
you're 18. You're just coming into
Of course. Then, but I do have
Supermarkets
like, a
are great
certain
places. Just
of
yeah,
where
supermarkets
like,
not
what
bad.
I want. I already have an idea of what I want. And
Let's
if that person
see
fits
a
that
hot
idea
MILF or
of what I
two.
want, then I can go forward and process that relationship. That's why I say there's a process before, marriage.
So you're in a
and
better
before
position
dating,
at
of
18 to
course.
28.
And that's why I do agree with you. Then everyone does go through a little party phase.
Is there musical chairs over here? Oh, okay, cool. Here, while she does that, we have a chat here. We have Stagner with the 100. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Why?
Watch
when a
out for
woman
the females
doesn't have a man, she often
posting
takes on a
videos
masculine
of.
role,
No, I have a
man
mask
doesn't
on there. I wear that.
necessarily have to take
It
on
looks like a
a
Bane
feminine
mask,
role.
and then I
Does this prove
just
that
wear
masculinity
glasses
is more essential to survival
because I wear that oxygen.
I don't know how to answer that
It's
one.
an oxygen deprivation thing. It makes it harder to
Come in, go ahead.
breathe. So you work
I was
out
just gonna
5
say that
times
that's
as hard.
Exactly why the nuclear home.
It's like if I was
is so important.
working
because,
out
like,
in the top of the
women have to
Himalayas or
take on
something.
this masculine role because there needs to be a masculine role, but they shouldn't. they need to take on a feminine role because that's why most of the time, like
That's
single
why I get
mothers
annoyed when
don't
people try to
work out
talk to
because
me because I got to
feminine
take the
roles,
fucking
you
mask
have
off.
high divorce rates with women that tend to be more like the breadwinners, more headstrong. So I think a lot of like that question specifically is stressing the importance that they are separate and that they're divided super like strictly, I guess you could say.
Mike, do you have a quick thing on
Yeah.
this?
So we talk about proximate and ultimate cause. When you ever hear a woman say, "I don't need no man," yes, me and Rolo and Justin need men too. We need men to build roads. We need men to, put up electrical wires. We need men to build an infrastructure. We need men to run an economy so that we can buy and sell goods. We need men for all kinds of these things. Proximate cause, no, you're a woman who makes $300,000 a year and you have a Mossberg by the door. You don't necessarily, quote unquote, need a man. Ultimately, we all do, because masculine traits aren't necessary for survival. They literally are survival. That's what masculine traits are. They are there for the survival of the tribe. Feminine traits are the survival of the child. And when she has a child, the child is going to come before the
Is
husband.
this guy a doctor or
What's it called?
something?
The unconditional love that women have is reserved for a child. And by the way, thank you for that. Women should be like that.
It's a feature, not a bug.
It's a feature, not a bug. And we as men, those of us who understand this concept of evolutionary psychology, we're grateful for the fact that our wife would throw us in front of the train and
I used to
save the
work
child.
out
That's
pretty
the point. That's
hardcore. I
how our
never
genetics get passed
heard
on.
of such a
But
thing. Then
survival
again, that
in
was
general,
years
when
ago.
the question was,
I
is
am still
masculinity
stacked,
important
but
for
need to
survival?
lose
Absolutely.
weight.
That is the definition.
You
That
must
is where
really be
masculinity comes
going
from.
full on.
Those
Yeah,
men
I
who
go
stormed Normandy
Monday,
back
Wednesday,
in
and
World War II
Friday.
did so for the survival of
But I
their
had to do
tribe,
some
putting
bullshit
their
on
own
Friday, and then I
survival to
went
the side,
yesterday.
the love of their country, and specifically the love of their family. That is what masculine That's what masculine traits are. It is for the survival of the tribe. Whereas feminine traits, they also aid in survival. Everything we do
The
aids in
stuff that
survival.
goes
It's
on in
more
that
the
gym,
survival of
man.
the offspring specifically.
Fuck.
We have a donation request here from
That's why I
someone who
laugh at all
wants
this
the
stuff, man.
girls
I'm
on the
just
panel
like,
to rate him on a
they're
scale of
talking
1 to
about
10.
going to dinners and
Eric,
all this
I
bullshit.
believe I
Fuck,
pulled
man.
up a
Just,
guy's Instagram
just go on the
profile.
parking lot in the car. I don't have to do
not
any of this
Zach's, it's just
shit.
like, can you,
Fuck all that
Josh,
shit.
Josh, yeah. All right, so we're gonna review Josh's Instagram profile, and you girls are gonna give him a little rating. Okay.
God, not this
let's
again.
See. Scroll down. Okay. So keep scrolling. Let's check out all his photos. Scroll down. Okay, there's a lot of not photos of
They
him.
trick the girls. Watch, it's so stupid. They don't even
All right,
know
he's got
what
a
they're
cat.
doing.
There. That's him with female friends. Maybe.
I've worked out at home for a long time. I only
all
use a
right, scroll
fitness center
down.
when I was
Scroll down even more. Let's
working
see
and I
what
didn't
else
have
we got.
time between
composition,
shifts
but
to
he's
go
doing this
home.
Let's see.
Review
His
Shane
color
Davis's
actually good. His color
Instagram.
correction was good. Yeah, I mean, yeah, dude.
Oh, have they put Shane Davis on there?
Look, this all we do is fix Instagram.
That's
No,
him,
Eric.
Parrot or
The point
something,
of
or
the
some
chat
sort of
is to talk.
avian
Talk away.
animal.
Wait, there's a shot of him in the kayak.
There you go. He's got a little chest tattoo. Okay, scroll down a little more. Then maybe that's him and his mom. Okay, that's him with. I don't know who that is. Okay, all right, you get an idea, ladies. Just your rating of him on a scale of 1 to 10.
Maines
Scroll
Davis.
up to the top really quick.
Wait, scroll down a little bit.
Which
What is
one?
the pink tree right there?
The pink tree? What?
Right there. There's
Bro,
pink
just rate
trees.
him. Just rate him.
Like,
I didn't see him.
because it was a
How am I supposed to
scenery.
rate? I don't know how you rate like a guy's Instagram because
Ju-
you don't really
like
see them
maybe
on
his physical appearance. I
His
reckon.
appearance.
His appearance.
Where
Avery.
was he at? Was he the cat or the tree? Maybe he was the buffalo in one of the buffalo pictures.
He's in a
talking
couple of
about?
the pictures. Okay, go ahead, Avery.
I think he's cute, honestly. I would say 7.5.
I don't even remember what he looks like. Can you pull it back up?
There you go. There you go.
Why don't they click on one of the
Okay.
pictures so we can see
Is
him
he a
better?
waiter?
Do you see? Okay,
Or is he LDS right there?
he's the guy with the blonde.
I don't know.
All right.
He's a drone enthusiast. That's all.
If you had to assign a
10.
something. Oh my, all right, go ahead.
6.5.
3.
3. Okay.
A 4.
The very fact that women can't even remember your face like that after that quick, that's
But
your answer.
I
That is your
remember-
answer right
I
there.
remember
That's
the
your rating.
series, the
Forgettable.
Go ahead.
Well, he seems like a bit of an NPC. Like got that kind of fluoride stare to him, but I'd say maybe a
Fluoride
7.
stare. I'm
Bro, she
stealing
said
that. I am
NPC and
stealing
fluoride in
that.
the same sentence,
I'd
bro.
say he's a 7.
Bro, they're black helicopters circling us right now. Are you kidding me?
I'm not a glowy, I promise.
What's a glowy?
I would probably give him a 7.
7. Really?
Maybe 6.
You're
Kinda.
going by looks, right? I would
Yeah,
give him like
just looks.
a 3. He looks like really short and like
Mange Davis, that dude is a character. That
All right,
that
now tell us.
that
Now
dude
tell us
is
he's
too
the
good
highest
for us
earning
thoughts.
like banker in
still
Kentucky.
doesn't make
I
him more
turned it on the
attractive.
other
Isn't
night
that,
on
isn't that like the shtick? It's like here's the punch.
what was it,
RIP
Jack
in
Show or
chat. What's
whatever?
his name? Joshua?
And he was a
Josh,
monkey.
RIP's in the chat for Joshua.
Like what the hell? I mean, that was crazy,
Did you
man.
have
It
something quick? You were raising your hand.
was an actual
that
monkey.
this?
Like
It
he
was
he did
part of the series and everything that he was like
a
doing, like,
VTube
all the
thing
places
or
that he
something
went
like
he's
when I
probably
used
has
to
enough
do
money
the
to do
bear
all
where
of
you
that.
can
So
see it
invisible.
moving and stuff.
He's
He had a
invisible.
full
Joshua,
body
hit
monkey.
me up. I'll send you to the
So,
free
like,
school
Stood up
server.
and
We'll fix your
everything. I couldn't
Instagram.
believe
Let's fix
it.
that
We'll
Instagram,
fix
buddy.
your
Let's
Joshua.
fix that.
Literally, hit me up on IG, bro. We'll fix your Instagram. That's all we do. I'll give you
let's
30
fix
examples
Now
of
go to
perfect
Justin's,
Instagrams.
Instagram and see what.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, check out. Actually, you know what? Let's look at Justin's Instagram.
Does that count?
Let's look at let's pull up
Do y'all's
Justin's Instagram.
Instagrams count?
You know, like a little comparison. Eric.
Oh, I like that accent.
Justin Winwaller 7. Also Jay Waller on YouTube. Do you have a Twitch? And it's in the works. It's coming. Pull it up. All right.
There you go.
209,000 followers. Oh, look at he's with Andrew Tate. Okay. Is that some KFC on the private jet? Yeah, it is.
I missed the last Jack Show. I am not sure if I want to watch it again.
Oh my!
They dunk on
all right.
kids too much.
Great
What
Britain.
kids?
On a
Exotic
jet
locations.
ski. Jet
Oh,
ski.
look
in
at
a-
that.
in a
Who's that
suit.
guy? That's Robert Kiyosaki.
Who's the? What? Okay.
I feel like if you went to Japan or any Asian country, they'd
I
be
can't
all
stop
over you.
laughing how
I think they're all
Try
over
try.
hand.
ever since I've
every-
seen that somebody put a meme of Anna
Alright.
and that
Okay. That's
that
Justin.
beer
Oh, there's,
tranny
Kristen
guy or
Tate.
whatever.
Oh, and then there's.
I
the
mean, it's
sartorial
so
shooter,
funny how
Andrew.
they
Who's the
looked
one on
they
the-
looked
is that,
pretty close. Like
Sterling. That's kind of
Anna and
he's kind of
Anna and
off
that
in the,
beard dude.
preview or whatever.
And then
Is that Dubai?
somebody like used FaceApp
Are
and they put
are you in
Anna's
Florida
face
now?
on
Do you have
that
any plans to move to Dubai?
tranny
Or are you like
doing makeup or something, and man, it was hilarious.
you and Sterling or?
Not gay, but this
Oh.
dude should be getting a lot of choice
Oh,
women.
okay.
They always mock
Weren't you
disabled
and Sterling,
kids,
like, housemates at some
especially
point?
choke
Not
out.
any- Not anymore though.
I mean, I get it, but it goes
Oh, he's
too far.
dating
Yeah,
you,
that's not cool to do that, man.
Really? I heard Spain, like when it comes to laws and shit and feminism, I heard Spain's like a
He
big,
he looks like the this guy looks like the guy on Reacher.
Yeah, I just did How to Beast, but I am building an 11,000 square foot house in Dubai.
Oh,
Bad
hell
boy.
yeah.
I'm excited. Tate tricked me into
An
doing it.
11,000 square foot house.
Are you gonna revoke your American citizenship?
No, man, I'm very patriotic.
Okay.
America's a motherfucking.
Why the
goat.
fuck would
Everybody's
you
got
want to live in
that suck
Dubai?
my dick.
Based.
Scoreboard. You know, anybody that doesn't like America can look at the scoreboard. Do I like things that America does? No. Do I feel like America's a bit of a bully? Yes. Is it the best country to ever exist? Yes, it is. And it's up to Americans to come together and stop letting this country rot from within. Anybody that doesn't want to be an American, get the fuck out.
Amen.
Let's
True.
fucking go. All right. So, Jesus Christ! Everybody dropping their shit every fucking.
Just put
30
that
minutes.
anywhere.
God damn. Okay. Butterfingers over here. Okay, so we have 2 girls on the panel who are virgins, allegedly.
Oh, that's me.
Yep. So I just want a point of clarification. You're not waiting for marriage, is that correct?
I don't have an end date in mind. It could be.
You said you just want to be in love, if I recall. Like you want to meet a worthy guy.
A
but you
little
need
the
to be
Reacher
married.
actor
Is
is
that correct?
much bigger and taller.
Yeah.
I
it
think
could
this
possibly
dude
be
looks
married,
like
though.
a stacked. Yeah, he
On the
does look
fence
like Ethan Hawke.
about
Yeah.
it.
It depends what the relationship would look like, I guess. Yeah.
What do you mean? Well, how would it need to look like for you to?
Oh,
not
Amber
want to
Heard's
into
getting
marriage?
up. Not Amber Heard.
I guess we could
Megan
still
Fox.
be in
I mean.
love, but he could still be looking for
Oh
something.
damn it! I wanted to see her
You
ass.
know what I mean? Not super long term, right?
Bastards.
So even if I'm in love with them, I would still need to be like a sustainable thing. Like you could be in love with someone without the stable relationship.
Shut up! I don't care
because
about you. I wanted to
passion
see
issues
Megan
or space
Fox's
in
ass.
marriage kind of resolves those concerns
So
because
you
they've
do
committed
wanna-
to you.
So you do want to get married before having sex?
I'd like commitment, and that could take the form of marriage or just me trusting them a lot.
Are you religious at all or no?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay.
But you're worried
then-
about getting put in a hajib? I was under the impression you were Muslim.
My parents are Muslim, yeah.
Okay. And you're a virgin. Are you waiting until marriage? Is there a religious component to
There's
this? Or
religious components. I grew up in
into
a
the
very
mic, please.
Oh, okay. There's religious components. I grew up in a very uptight Christian household, and I didn't really have a problem with it because my parents were setting foundations for me, moral foundations for me to follow after. Honestly,
That girl's so
if I'm
annoying.
being real, maybe it's just the fact that I'm in California because most of the guys in California are just, I don't know.
Just what?
Just
What's
I
this?
don't want to say I don't want to. I
Say
don't
it.
really like liberal men. I just don't.
Okay.
I just don't. Maybe
I watched that
factors
Reacher
into
show
it.
for a couple of
I just want to do with
episodes,
someone that I love.
but I dipped out. It
Someone
started to focus on the sheriff
someone
too
who
much.
loves me,
I
someone
didn't
who
care
I wanna
about
spend the
him
rest of
plus
my life
plot
with,
holes.
but
It
I
got
don't wanna
boring
just
quick to
throw
me.
away my virginity, to some
The
guy
the
who
end
I
was
love.
good, but yeah, some of the
But so
episodes
not
weren't
waiting until marriage
terribly good.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say a part of
I
it
just
is
love
part of me
watching
that
that
grew
guy.
up
I just
in a
love
really,
watching the
really tight
Reacher
Christian
guy
household, wants to
beat the
wait for
hell out
marriage.
of that
I'm
kid
not sure if those
constantly.
are ideas that are
Like when they're in that
my
restaurant and
own
the kid gets lippy
or
with him and he just beats
that
the
are
hell out of him.
just religious guilt, I guess.
I think that you will drastically protect your future relationship if you wait for marriage.
Can he be a member of House Ravenclaw? Is that okay?
Patrick
I'm
Bateman's
sorry, I
out.
crossed universes.
And
I
Daily
apologize.
Wire will clip that out of this whole show right there.
Yeah, it's a Patrick Bateman cosplay.
Yeah, I mean, I brought the raincoat, but I couldn't wear it. So.
Yeah, good times. Okay.
Yeah, she forgot
so
the
sort of
hazmat
waiting
suit.
until marriage, but not.
You know what? I don't know. I just wouldn't throw it away so easily. I'd have to really, really, really know a guy before I ever considered letting him,
Letting him what?
well, I don't really want to say it.
Hit it.
Put the P in the.
Let-
You're gonna say
letting
What the
some
fuck is
sexual
she
shit
doing
like
on
you were
this
saying
show,
before.
man?
Okay, whoa. I
Well,
get
did
kind
they
of
go
shy
take
when
this
it comes
girl
to
out
this
of a
topic,
Catholic
you know?
school or
Oh, now
something?
you're shy, but
Okay,
like
well, yeah,
all the
yeah,
other
well,
fucking
now the
shit you're
topic,
saying.
but okay, I
You
think
don't want to fuck fat bitches, but
I don't want to
now-
fuck fat bitches. I don't think anyone wants to
Now-
fuck fat bitches.
You
I
don't
don't.
want to fuck a fat bitch.
I wouldn't fuck a fat
That girl does look like Avril Lavigne.
When
Now
you
that
say
I think
bitch, is
about
that
it.
like a woman or like it could also be a fat dude? Like
You know what? I don't know. I mean, I've seen some cute
Guys could
chubby
be
boys,
bitches.
but just fat bitches, they're loud.
Yeah, that would be
That's what I
cool
don't
to see
like.
him as
They're
Dutch.
What about
loud.
a quiet fat bitch?
Just-
Would you
just-
fuck a
yeah,
quiet
like
fat
if
bitch?
there's a quiet, shy little fat bitch,
Alright, okay.
yeah, okay. I don't really want to get into the schematics of fat bitches. Okay.
Have you ever dated a guy? Have you? I'm trying to
Me,
recall.
no.
Have you had a relationship?
I've only dated guys.
No,
like,
no, but I forgot what you said back when I originally asked.
Uh-oh.
Have you had a relationship?
Yeah, I've had relationships.
What was your longest relationship again?
2 years.
2 years. Okay. But I mean, you said you're what, 19?
I'm 20.
Oh, you're 20. Okay. Was that like a high school relationship or something?
A high school relationship. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I've had relationships after that, sure, but I don't know.
Okay. All right. We're gonna get a couple soup chats here, and then let's see. Actually, let me just do the.
I have
soup
to
chats
go
now.
look back at the comics. I don't remember
Eric,
who's
can you,
who, honestly.
I forgot where we were. Oh wait, did we?
Oh,
do-
Megan Fox came back.
We did that one.
Did we do this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already done. Keep
Oh, yeah,
going.
shout out to all
Did
my
we do this
robots.
one? BB Demon 69. Thank you for the 100. Avery, can you read this?
With empathy in short supply, I'd care for my family and opt for a non-OnlyFans partner. Honor individual principles.
Yo, Demon 69. Thank you for the $100 soup chat. Really appreciate it, man. All right, we have care for Venom RX. Thank you for the 100. Avery, go for it. Actually, no, you should read this one.
There's two girls with glasses here. You
But they're
just,
tough.
Fair
I
enough.
know.
That's true.
Girl with glasses is trying too hard. Girls like that don't need egos raised and more power. Not that smart, by the way. I blame men. Following like. and
Yeah,
dating
right
OnlyFans
when she
and
goes to
women
get
can
up
be
and we
this
could see her
bad.
ass,
If
they
guys
cut
don't
to
do that,
this
the dating
bitch
market wouldn't be
whining.
that fucked up. Am I supposed to be triggered? I don't know. Are
You're
they?
not supposed to be
are
triggered.
they-
If you
Are
want.
you?
She's just thinking about the
You can
400,000
respond to
she made this year and how triggered she is.
Yeah,
She's
she's trying her
She's so
shares with all
angry
her
about
money.
that.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
He's
with,
right though. He is right.
He's like wiping his tears with the money. Yeah. All right, we have Apostle Victor with the 105 donation. Thank you, man. Have my money, you guilty pleasure of mine, Brian. I also have a Slytherin t-shirt right now on me, so that's a nice coincidence. Much love.
There
Hey,
you go.
Victor.
Virginity lost. Let's do it.
Thank you,
Let's
Victor.
make that
Appreciate
match.
it, man. Really appreciate all the support tonight, guys. You guys are blowing me away. Thank you guys so much. Okay, really quick to show of hands, should body count matter?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, Avery.
Wait,
no?
for a guy
Sorry?
or for a girl?
Which
Yeah.
gender?
For women. Let's say this should matter for women.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree that it should matter.
100%.
4 women or 2 women? I'm saying, okay, wait. Well, can we be?
Like, should women care about a man's body count? Is that what you're asking?
That question on it.
No, other way around.
Or should a man care about a woman's body count?
Well, perhaps I can rephrase the question. Do you object to men caring about women's body count?
Yes.
Wait, sorry, say it one more time.
Do you object to men, generally speaking, or do you object to men caring about women's body count?
Oh, I feel like I've already pontificated about it.
You know what this guy needs?
Again, like I said,
he
if
needs
it
to
makes sense,
have
if it's the 0 to 0 ratio for
a
bonding.
DMCA
you
free
do take an
clip
issue
of
with the double
that.
standard.
Are we gonna keep circling?
Is it
back?
Ice Cube
Hold
that
on.
sings
I
that
think we should
song
let
Body
other people-
Count?
Okay, go ahead.
Like that would be funny.
If
Like
he's
if he
gonna
could play
provide for me,
play a
and
little
he's,
clip of
you know,
that
further down
song
the
when
line,
they're
he
doing
promises
this.
me a certain amount of
Body
stuff,
count,
and this
body
and that.
count. They're like
Yes,
saying the
it should matter. How
they're saying
much
the
my
body
count
counts.
It should matter
because-
to him.
Of
Okay.
course.
I feel like it should. I feel like it should.
So just to clarify, the question is: do you object to men caring about women's
Oh.
body count?
No, I don't.
No.
Nope.
I mean, if a guy thinks a woman is a whore, she's a whore. Like
Based.
that's his.
That's probably
too far, but yeah.
You know what? The 3 of us are going to stand up for women's rights here. I think you're being a little bit too draconian and misogynistic towards women, and I'd really like you to stop using that language. If a guy thinks a woman is a whore, he thinks she's a whore, and from that's right. That is whether or not she is. And by the way, I'm not agreeing with this, but this is the argument. I know a lot of big models who finally broke down and got an OnlyFans, and the reason why they said they got an OnlyFans is like they said they're going to call me a whore anyway. They already think I'm a whore. They already think I sleep my way through whatever. And so
See ya.
it's men's
Yeah, we're gonna
judgmental
shut down
nature
soon.
that causes women to behave like this. I don't think it's an excuse. I think you could still not have.
was
Well,
wrong.
Red's
That's
gonna
gonna be
start a
good
show, and I need to go to sleep. I'll
Yeah,
put
there
that
you
Wire
on.
picks up.
That's right. Yeah, but just so we're clear, a lot of women will say that they'll be like, "Well, I'm going to be called this name anyway." But the difference is internally, are you that way? And I think internally, you know whether or not. You guys said before you've had a hoe phase. When you had your hoe phase, did you feel good after it?
No.
Okay, so I guess maybe that's what my point is. Internally, you know what you did, regardless of what other people think.
Oh shit! I've been going 2 hours with this.
Word. Really quick, kind of related to this. So most of you said actually body count does matter. We often hear on the show that body count shouldn't matter. What's your body count?
Well, I'm going to be shamed for this. So I'm just going to pre-defend myself and say that this was when I was between the ages of 18 to 22. I don't do this anymore, but I really thought that if I slept with
You
a
were
man,
young and impressionable.
I thought that they would love me if I gave them the pee. So it didn't work out that way. Anyways, so it's 45.
Oh.
I lose.
I think look back on
Whoa.
that and now make the change. Like don't
Kiana
let
has
that
more
fool
than
you
her.
anymore.
And that's what I have done, but then I guess that's why I said like I don't think body count should matter because it sucks that I would be judged for that when I am a very loyal person, you know, and I don't want to sleep around because it
Yeah.
felt awful.
Yeah, so make the
So
changes.
that's yeah.
Body count?
Say it again?
Huh?
What's your notch count?
What's your body count?
I'm not gonna say.
Huh?
I'm not gonna say.
Oh.
I'm
No,
not gonna say
that's
it,
fine.
because
No worries.
one of the things is that sure a number is based, but if a girl is so easy to say her body count, then it's either doubled or probably a little bit less. But that's just me.
That's those red pill guys again, just doubling up everything, right? Right.
I'd rather not answer.
All right.
My mom's watching, but
It's late.
hi mom. It's
Not now.
Below
It's late.
5. Below 5.
Below 5. Allegedly 0.
It's 0. It's 0.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Oh man.
Into the mic.
Your mom is watching. My mom, my dad, and like half my church is watching.
Half the church.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
They
So-
forget. They forget.
Oh.
And also,
Why would you
know, I
tell
heard
them
she
you're
a lot
on there?
about my past, and I agree with what that other girl said when she was on. Like, out of respect for my future husband, I feel like that's something that should be kept private.
Fair enough. Okay.
Do you think that girls with tattoos are more promiscuous than girls without tattoos?
I mean,
I don't know.
I have a tattoo. I'm not that promiscuous.
You have a tattoo?
Do you think so?
I would.
Well,
I
according
think,
to the red pill, I'm a slut. So yeah.
You're a slut.
is that a fraternity tattoo? Can I see it again?
That's my family.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't get a good look at it.
Fraternity.
I don't know. I just took a little
Fraternity.
quick
Look,
glance.
do I look like a guy that's in a
Yeah,
fraternity?
the Rockstar 20s, you know. Justin Waller, how face?
What's your notch count, dude?
I truly don't know.
He forgot.
He's a man of
He
God.
forgot after.
Pray every night.
Well, that's actually a good question, Rollo. When it comes to tattoos,
Mhm. You have a tattoo?
I don't have any tattoos. Yeah, fortunate.
You don't have any?
0 tattoos besides.
Yeah, why would you
no,
tell a
you-
church you're watching this? They're probably gonna kick her now.
Women are linked to abuse.
This
when
is a
you're-
red
They're gonna be like, we
I
can't,
disagree.
You
we
just-
can't
Call
have
bullshit
you
on
hear
too.
that
Like, I don't
sinner
judge a girl with tattoos.
girl that
Depends
can't
on
choose
where
a
they
hair
are and
color
what-
said
what-
I'm really
45.
curious on how you think of that before I answer.
I love chicks with tattoos.
I don't really care that much. I think that people have really bad tattoos, and those ones.
Yes, don't get
are
Bart
bad.
Simpson on
Oh
the side
Jesus,
of your
what
thigh.
cherries, man.
Do you
Good
have
rule of
Barth? Do you
thumb.
have Barth?
No.
But yeah, I don't.
Go to
I don't
Walmart and
care.
look at girls who have like big fat girls with shorts on it, and they'll have like random tattoos all over their legs. That
Yeah,
I
I've
saw
seen
one
those.
with like a boat on her thigh, and like you know how like they get older and it's saggy and it looks like a sinking
She has a
boat.
boat.
So you agree that women can hit the wall?
Oh wow, okay.
I mean, everybody
think she
hits
read
the
your
wall
book.
at like
No, man,
The
we need to
at
fuck
stand
one
up
a
for
point.
bug
women right
flew in
now.
my
Whether
mouth.
It's
you're
getting
a guy
ridiculous.
or whether you're a
We need to
girl,
stand
we
up for these
always
ladies,
hit a wall.
Rollo.
at
This
some
is getting-
point.
should we be the
Jesus.
feminists? Should we be the
Seriously.
devil's
Yeah, I think-
advocates
I
on
think
this?
we have to be
Seriously.
devil's advocate.
No, let's not repeal the 19th. Stop it, ladies. Stop it. Going too far.
Okay, we hold
Ugh.
on. One more thing here. We have 2 more things we have to react to.
We have to ask the girls if they have any other questions for us because we only got to her.
The
Okay.
Anna wall.
Yeah, we didn't. Well, so one of the, I guess, and I would like to try to wrap up here soon. So one of the questions asked is if there's anything dating related you want to get off your chest, or if you have a final thought, I'd like to open it up to anybody who wants to kind of get in here at the end. Opening it up to.
Actually, I do have a question for them. When do you think is the right time to have sex? Like, how many dates in order for a man to still respect you?
Go ahead. You guys go ahead.
3,
Okay.
3.
at least 3 structure. It's the 3 strike rule, more or less. Put it this way: within 3 dates, you should know if that woman has genuine desire enough to want to have sex with you. Put it that way. And it's not that that's like a deadline or a criteria. I'm just saying that within. Actually, I think I've got it in my first book. As a matter of fact, it's basically the same 3 strike rule that everybody's been using for forever, but it's meant to determine genuine desire, not necessarily like I would like to get with if there's like religious like convictions between the man and the woman, and that's already pre-established. It should still be within 3 dates to know that, like, you know what, I would probably want to have sex with you really, really bad if it were not for our convictions between the two of us. I've actually, people don't want to read that part of my, that paragraph in my book, but because they think that when I talk about like, what is it, Iron Will Tomasi number 3, which is, anytime a woman makes you wait for sex, the sex is never worth the wait. People think that means I'm trying to encourage guys to go and have like, wanton sex with like loose women. That's not what it is. It's to determine genuine desire. So within 3 dates, you should be able to determine whether or not she's going to flake on you, or she's really into you, or she has some other mitigate. She's got another guy that she's hoping was going to pan out, and she's putting you on ice. And because if it doesn't work out with him, then she'll go up with you, right? You're like this consolation or consolation
But I
prize.
think she's asking about from her standpoint. How many days should she?
Oh,
wait?
should you
Yeah.
personally? I would say the same thing. 3.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is just going to be more like just to be more discerning, right? It's like I empathize with your situation because like I said, I coach dudes and I see how fucked up they are, and I like this is what you guys got to choose from. God damn, that sucks, man.
Yeah,
I get that. Like, trust me, I do. And then when I have these questions, like you said before, you're kind of talking your book about what your body type was.
Why would you
and
tell
then
your
so that's gonna be
church
held
you're
against
what
you.
that you're
And I
gonna
feel
be
bad
on
for that
here?
too. I totally understand. I think in the end, the real
What
answer
do you?
is just to be.
I
discerning,
bet they're
you know what I'm
gonna
saying?
kick that girl out of the church.
And to still at the same time work on yourself and understand.
It'll be like, what is
statistics
this?
are statistics.
What is this
I'm usually the one
sinfulness?
arguing the opposite side of this point, but just because there's one study that says that 17% of the time a woman is going to stay happy in a relationship after she's had more than 20 sexual partners, that's still 17% of women that still are happy after 20 sexual partners. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, man, it's rough. But that's the other thing is like, this is what my best advice would be. Are you turned on either? Are you going to sleep with this guy because you need validation, or because he's just lighting you up like a blowtorch and he's love bombing you, or whatever? Is that why you're doing it, or you're doing it because you legitimately can see? You're just like, or you're ignoring red flags, or you're doing it because you can legitimately see a future with this dude. If you can, then 3 dates or however, or how, you know what I'm saying? That would be the thing. Now, if you make this dude wait 6 months, the problem is this, right? If you make a guy wait like 10 dates or 6 months or whatever, he has so few boundaries that eventually you're not going to be attracted to him. Does that make sense? Because if then this same guy comes to me and Rollo and be like, hey man, I like this girl. She's been with 45 dudes and she's making me wait 10 dates. We'd be like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? You see what I'm saying?
They'll do it too.
So
They'll
just-
stick around
yeah.
because you're their only option. And they're like, I know if I just
But when you-
say the right thing or do the right
when
thing,
you
I'm going to
rec-
get in there.
When you recognize you're his only option, you're not going to be that attracted to him. I'm sorry, but it's just not the way supply and demand works, right? So I mean, but let me tell you something, ladies. I do feel, bro, I see these dudes. Like I feel like it's been so. When I got older, when I turned at the age of 40, I remember having an easier time meeting women because my competition is Tekashi 6ix9ine and fucking Machine Gun Kelly. Like that's who I have to compete with dudes who wear pink dresses, and like that's not really much competition. I'm not trying to brag. There's nothing special about me. It's just, man, I just saw this lack of masculinity. This dating marketplace with men who had never bench pressed 200
tell
pounds,
your
been in a
church you're
fucking
going
fight,
on the
played
Jack
football,
show.
any of these like basic things that I went through, the teasing and the razzing that happened. These
The
dudes
preacher
will
will
report me
like
on
talk
fucking
to you
Instagram
after
if I
the
say
sermon
bad
when
words
it's like,
to them now. Like I cannot
I
believe
saw
these
this
men
show
that
and there was a
you guys
woman
have to pick from, and
urinating.
I feel bad, dude. I legitimately I do. So don't think that I don't empathize with the situation.
Women would rather share an alpha guy than to be saddled with a beta loser.
Yeah, I think liberals are the problem, bro.
I
That's a
think-
bit of a broad statement. but
Yeah,
it's a
when
bit
do
of
we
a-
get Alex Jones over here with our own fucking show? That's what I want to see.
I just think yeah, I think you're absolutely
honestly,
right.
I don't think it's right or left or political or anything to do with that. I just think it's the way that we have sort of acculturated like multiple generations of guys since the sexual revolution, whether that's Republican. You know what? I can make the same arguments against conservatives as I can with liberal leftists as well. It's just tradcons are just progressives driving the speed limit. They're just doing what they think is right, and the guys on the right are just as weesh as the guys on the left right now. So, and that's the problem. When Justin's here and we're talking about like how he's going to have the pick of the litter, and women are more than willing to share him, we're getting to a default situation where women, because they'll share, that becomes polygamy. It's one guy gets many women, and it's not because he's trying to polygyny. He's not the one initiating this. It's because he's the best option, and women are more than, whether they're consciously doing it or not, he's the best option to wait out. I hope if I can get with him, if I do this, then he'll want to stay with me. It'll be closed on both our ends. We'll live happily ever after because he's the apex. Well, what Mike is just saying right here is the competition is so low right now.
Ken and the
that,
Frogs, yeah.
he's the default choice. The guy who's the apex alpha becomes the default choice. So you have the state of polygyny, I guess, where it's one man and many women, but it's initiated by women because their only selection are the one that they want to get with. They don't need a man for long-term security because they've already taken care of that. So they don't need a man, but they want a man. What's the man that they want? This guy. They want Jason Momoa. They want the guy who's going to be the good sexual experience for them. And then other guys who are the lesser men, they complain about him because he ruined my girlfriend. He ruined the girl that now I'm married to, and my life is a living hell because she can't get over that guy.
Word.
You have anything to say?
I have to announce something really quick, and I need to apologize to somebody here. He rated us on Twitch. He's a Chad gamer. His name's Payo Frederic in Canada. Eric, I don't know if you're Eric. I need you to pull it up. I don't know if you. I think it was the last podcast we reacted to Payo. We reacted to that Twitch clip of him with the keyboard, and then we reacted to we pulled up his Instagram. So if you go to Instagram.com. He rated us on Twitch and I missed it, which is like really bad form on Twitch. I apologize. Our primary stream platform is YouTube, so we missed it on Twitch. So my bad, Fred. So pull up his Instagram just so we can shout him out. And then we're going to have the girls react, see if he would date him. And then if you recall, recall that Twitch clip we reacted to. I don't know how you're gonna find it, to be honest. Try to find it. It's Payo, Payoowow. Yo, Victor, thank you, man.
Victor donated $210. Forgot to read what's the trigger for TTS. But now I don't really have a message. Just sorry to disappoint my co-house Slytherin College U. I am wearing a Slytherin t-shirt as a father of 2 happily married.
Yo, Victor, thank you for the big 210 donation there through Streamlabs. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you for the TTS.
You know,
I
don't really care about Harry Potter that much. Like I tried to watch those back in the day. I just couldn't get into it. But
thank you so much, man. Really
they keep
Eric, can you go ahead
showing
and pull
on
Payo?
TV
Payo, if you're
the
watching this, I don't know if you still are.
I think it's the last one where
man.
they
girls,
they
would
raid
you
that
date
castle or
this
whatever.
man?
That
He
one
is
I
a
like.
Chad
Like
World of
that one I
Warcraft
can
gamer,
actually
a
watch
Twitch-
because
He put the old
man,
folks
that
on
whole
there. That's
movie
something
they're
you can do
just
on Face-
fighting
Face
in
app.
that castle
so,
or
like,
whatever, and then
he's a
they
gamer,
blow up
like,
that
top-tier
bridge
World
and
of
all that.
Gamer.
Do
Yeah.
his eyes
That,
closed
that was
or
pretty
he just
good.
have-
Like I wish
think
the
there's
other
stuff
ones
like
were
that.
like that.
He
I
had
couldn't
Thunder
watch
Fury
those
on,
other
like, 2 of
ones.
his level 60
It was
worlds
always that
in vanilla-
fucking
in, like,
kid
World of
whining
Warcraft
and shit,
Classic.
and I couldn't
So
take
he's
it.
like a Chad. Eric, zoom in on that one with Thunder Fury with the sword. So, ladies, yes or no? Would you date this guy?
Look,
Oh.
he's got the physiology of a high elf from Skyrim. Like if you put the slider up all the
He's
way,
a
but
little,
he
he's a
looks-
little thick in the
but,
waist
but,
for,
but, but
for
he looks funny
for
as
a
fuck.
high elf.
But he looks funny as fuck, dude. I would definitely date him. Like he looks silly. He looks,
Okay,
he's full
that's a
of
yes.
joyous
Hell yeah.
whimsy.
He lives in Canada though. Like, is that an issue? Like he's Canadian.
You have a passport?
Are you down to
I have
go?
a passport.
If he flew, if he offered to fly you out, would you go see him?
I don't know because I'm seeing someone right now.
What? Huh? I thought you were single. Wait.
No. I'm seeing someone. I said I'm seeing
Oh,
someone.
you're right.
I'm
I
seeing
missed it.
someone.
My bad.
she was a virgin.
Yeah, I'm a virgin.
Ah,
I'm
but she
seeing
is.
someone.
She
But
is seeing
he
someone.
does look like a high elf, and I was a dark elf.
Avery, you down?
Yeah, he seems funny.
He's a good guy.
I would go to Canada.
He's a good guy.
I'm kind of over LA,
Like
anyways. Yeah.
he keeps dying
Yeah,
in
fuck
hardcore
Canada.
mode. Like he's just like finally he decided to play a rogue, but normally he plays a hunter. Well, not normally. Normally he plays a rogue, but he like tried to level hunter like 7 times, but he kept dying in hardcore. So now he's like in his 50s on a rogue. Like, is that
He's
does
in
that
his
help?
50s?
No,
no.
like level.
No, his
Okay,
level
old
is
people.
level
We have
50.
so many old
Keep
people.
up, keep up. Level 50.
I'm sorry, Justin. I'm sorry.
Okay.
What,
Yeah,
you
I-
down
I,
for
I
him?
actually want to date this guy. This guy seems awesome. I'm just kidding.
You down? You down for him?
I'd go on a first date.
You go on a first date with Payo. Okay, what about you?
I just
Yeah,
like
he
people,
plays classic.
He only plays classic.
What if he played League of Legends? Then would you be into him?
Yeah, he's a classic Andy through and through. Like he only plays
No,
classic.
I just like myself an anime nerd. Like,
Huh?
I love myself an anime.
Payo,
nerd.
confirm or deny.
What about
do you
what
like
about
anime?
Madden?
Like I just want to argue back and forth on which one's the best anime. Just over just stupid discussions.
Okay, sure. What about you? Would you go for Payo?
Nope.
No. Eric, can you find that clip really quick?
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Where are you looking?
So it's, I'm in the.
Are you on his Twitch clips?
No, I was in the folders.
Oh, it's we. Or wait, did we download? Wait, hold on. Let me look. I don't.
Your chat is awesome.
I don't know if we. Wait, hold on. Let me look. I don't think we ever downloaded this in the video tab. Let me look. I don't think we have it. Yeah, but Payo, I apologize for missing your raid. I'm a scumbag. My bad. We don't have. Again, YouTube's our primary platform, so we're not really like following what's going on Twitch all that closely. While we're talking about Twitch, though, and while Eric finds that, Eric, can you pull up Twitch? Let me shout these people out for the last time. And okay, yo, guys, go to twitch.tv/whatever, drop us a follow, drop us a Prime sub. If you have Amazon Prime, you link it to your Twitch, quick, free, easy way every single month. So this is to support the show. Riot, thank you for the Prime. Gambino, thank you for the Prime. Nico, thank you for the Prime.
All right,
Thank you for the
I've
Prime.
had enough
Master
of this.
Crystal, thank you
This
for the
is
Prime. Mango Foo, thank you for the follow.
why is this why am I still hearing this? Yeah. Oh, the tab. I'll return this. Saying, what the hell? Why do I keep hearing that? We'll watch this for a couple of minutes before I go, just for a laugh, see what she's doing. Why can't I hear this? Here, let me. All right, here we go.
It was perfect. She did it so good.
No, I can't play that shit. They'll get copyright. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. See, we had Felix Haas, Matt G, Eric Boyd. Let's see here. Simple Jack, Mr. Yanapui, Hiawatha, Manticore, DA Talks, Vicky Burtz, Felix Haas. Thanks for coming, Felix Haas. And I think that's pretty much it. Let's see. Yeah, that's it, everybody. We'll be doing Troll Show in a day or two, and we're gonna be reviewing that beef show, which is pretty funny. So I'll see you then. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.